Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Prop Firm Match TV on this Thursday. Day before Halloween, we got John, our CTO, in the building. How you doing, man?
Yeah, doing good. Doing good. Thanks, Zach. How are you?
I'm good, man. FOMC was pretty funny yesterday. I would love to hear like what your thoughts were. I ended up streaming again for the FOMC like news release, and finally caught some good shorts. But what's funny is, so I got in, got out on my shorts like really quick, but then the market just completely reverted back, made another new all-time high. Then it made another all-time high in the Asia session. So we're still just like very, very bullish.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I kind of cleaned house yesterday. It was a really good day for me. But yeah, it sounds like you're a bear, Zach. So there's
Dude,
the
I'm
Bulls and
I'm
Bears.
not I'm not usually, I'm not like this perma bear. It's just been
Yeah,
too bullish for me. Like it's just been insane. If it was going down at the same way it's been going up, I would still be starting to just get like fatigued and just
yeah,
needing to see a retracement. But yeah, I hear you.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, perma Bears and perma Bulls. That's what we call them. But yeah, but yeah, I understand. Like you're just waiting for a nice pullback. It keeps going high, but yeah, I just in this market. I mean, maybe today's the day we get a bigger pullback, but buyers are really in the mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some good shorts too. Like if you like shorting, you just got to really pick your spots in this market. Like really know that okay, this is a really good short. Like
Yeah.
because buyers are always looking to get in right now. And still, like unless we see tons of volume to the downside, I'm still skeptical of sellers. Um, so that's kind of my approach. But yeah, I can go over my charts and kind of go over some of the trades I took. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I would love
and
it. When you say you cleaned house, you mean you had like a killer day?
yeah, it was a
Nice.
really good day.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of had an epiphany, and I think it's just been by talking to you recently about using micros. Um,
Okay.
so I was like, minis are really high leveraged. Like one point is $20. So like I would do well with minis, and I probably would be doing better. But like I like the idea that I'm not risking a lot with micros.
Yeah.
And my strategy, because I feel like it's a pretty good win rate, if I'm risking very little and I let my trades ride, then I do a bit better. So my focus for the next like couple weeks is just to let my trades ride a bit longer with micros and see how I do. So yeah, I can go over my
Awesome.
trades. Not trying
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
like braggadocious or anything, but
No, man. I mean, I'm
yeah,
glad you had a good day. I did end up being green, but it's funny because I was shorting the whole time. So I'll go over my
yeah,
trades after, but yeah, get your screen up and let's take a look. By the way, guys, we have Wilksey FX coming on today as our guest at 9:30, so that'll be a good one. And then tomorrow's going to be fun, man. We have the Maven Halloween special stream. So we have Hunter coming on, who is the owner of Maven Trading prop firm, and they'll be sponsoring the event, and it'll just be a fun Halloween stream. It'll be cool to talk to like an owner of a prop firm. I've never interviewed one. I have met Clay from Top One Futures like in person down in Florida. So I met him and we chatted, but I've never done like a real interview with one. So I think that'll be fun. Okay,
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, from Maven, it's Hunter. He's an interesting. I look at his ex sometimes, so
Yeah.
he's a bit interesting.
He's got some
But yeah,
controversial tweets or posts up on there every now and then.
yeah, and that can sometimes be a distraction if you're a newer trader. Like, just FYI, like there's a lot of opinions and ideas out there about what's good, what's not, how people have their style, but unless you put in the hours and the work, like it's just opinions really. You really need to find your style and find what works for you. Otherwise, you'll get inundated by ideas. Then you'll have a bad day, and then you'll be like, "Oh, this trader said this," and you'll look to kind of blame someone. And
Yeah.
that's the hardest part. Like we all have to take responsibility for our actions and what we do.
Try to avoid talking in absolutes, when it comes to trading, especially.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, other than that, Maven is a great partner, I have to say. So not trying to say anything with Hunter, but yeah, I've seen some of his videos and he's interesting for sure.
Shout out Maven. Shout out
Yeah,
Hunter.
for sure. Yeah, so I'll go over. So what I'm finding, like I'm learning in because this market is so bullish, and because I didn't have any previous price action history, like all I had were the 5 minute balances and the 1 minute balances. But I'm finding those work really well in really trending markets. So see, I'm starting to kind of form a strategy around like just really bullish markets and really trending markets where there's no previous price action history. But just to go over like my trades, the the few balances that had me seeing the market really well yesterday was these two. So I'm on the hourly time frame. So the whole time while the market's going up, what I'm constantly looking for is balances. Like, do we have a large enough balance that I have something solid to go off of, right? And we know that the larger time frame balances have more volume. So as
Mhm.
soon as one forms, I am on it. Like I'm on it right away.
Immediate. Yeah.
Um, so yesterday I saw a couple of hourlies that were decent. Like this is a bit of sideways, so I marked this up. This is on ES, and then this is a bit of sideways that I marked up yesterday. So I knew these were key for me. This is what I was going to use for the FOMC,
Which makes
and
sense.
for sure, yep. And I did trade the FOMC a little bit before the news, but after the news is when things became really clear for me. Um, so this was ES, and then on NQ, we had this hourly balance here. And then there's like a little tiny one right here that I grabbed. And actually, this is the one I used a lot too. And I used this one a bit. It's like a little bit sideways, just enough for me to say, okay, there was a little bit back and forth here with some volume traded. So I'm going to use those. So essentially, the way I used it yesterday was on ES. Let me see if I can find. So let's see. This is the overnight session. Wednesday. Okay. I'm going to have to find my trades. I thought I marked them up yesterday, but let's see.
No worries. You got it.
All right. So it was, I think I remember the time I took it. Oh, yeah, it was back here. Wednesday. Yep, here it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had to go. Yep, this is 14, 13. Okay, so I grabbed this trade here. So this was probably my best trade of yesterday. So the levels, yeah, were really clear, I would say. So it was this one here. So you can see this is an hourly balance right here on ES, and this is on NQ.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So these are the two hourly balances, like the ones lower before the first one.
Yes.
So I said, okay, I don't think we're going to get below this. And there was a few things that had me thinking this way. One, the market's been running up pretty much all week. So nothing has really changed for me as far as buyers still being interested. And yeah, it was after the FOMC. So I thought, okay, we weren't that far below the open. Like this is a pretty decent drop, but also like this is how I piece it together, right? All morning, and this is what usually happens during FOMC. We just oscillate around the open, right? So we were just under the open on both ES and NQ. And so that shows me like, okay, unless it's like the FOMC was horrible news and we just dump, like I'll be wrong. But it didn't seem to me like sellers just wanted to take the market all the way down, even after the FOMC reaction. It was just like a big drop. But I would have wanted us to see us like get through this value area quickly to have more confidence in sellers. Once we started stalling around this value area high on the hourly, I thought this was a good play. So I entered right here. I think it was a back test. Yeah, we shot up and then back tested. So this to me is like a bread and butter setup. And I'll go to the 5 second. And let me just delete this circle here. So if I go to the 5 second, I'll show you how these setups play out for me or set up. So let's see if I can go to it. This is, I have to go a little bit further back. 13. Okay. Here it is. Okay. So this is on NQ, right? So I think I might have grabbed even a few other longs. Like I had a few trades yesterday that worked out really nice. But for me, this one, like right here, it was just a really nice, we had a big enough bounce to then back test and then hit the value area high here. So with the strategy that I'm experimenting that I quite like, what I do is like, I set the stop order here. And what I do is I purchased a couple of micro contracts, and then I reserve another lot for if we come back a little bit more, I'll enter in again on a stop order and then put my stop like right here.
Okay.
So I got a couple contracts, and once we get the move going, I sell half, and then I let one contract ride. And then at this point, once we hold this, my target is the open. Like in my mind, I'm thinking we're going to get back to the open, and on ES as well. Like we're going to get back to the open. Like that's my mindset, because if buyers hold this, the next logical area is here. And because we're not that far from the open, I'm thinking we're going to get to the open.
So is the logic, the logic behind going back to the open that if the market closes above the open, it's a bullish day, and we've had all bullish days? Is that kind of the idea? Or like, what's the significance for you of the open level?
Yeah, so it's kind of like sequencing. So one thing I didn't talk a lot about with the intraday levels is sequencing. If we hold the open, we'll probably want to get to the overnight high. If we hold the overnight high, we want to get to the regular trading hours high. So it's all kind of like sequencing the intraday levels. And so what I see here, and this is just purely based on sentiment, like that we've been strong. So we had a pullback here later in the day. So to me, the likelihood of us continuing to drop during the day wasn't super high, especially in this market.
Yeah.
And then I saw like, okay, if we hold this hourly value area, the next intraday level is the open. Like I could probably go to like here, let's see. So if I go back to my intraday levels, yeah, the next levels were actually the overnight low and the previous day close. And after we cleared this, the next is the open. So I wasn't looking at the overnight low and the previous day close. I just felt strongly that buyers would get to the open.
I get it. I mean, you're playing level to level, looking for those rotations. Like if we make one level and we get above, the next logical area is for it to rotate to the next logical level.
Yep, exactly, exactly.
Cool.
But I felt, because this drop wasn't super huge, I felt buyers wanted to get back to the open. That was like, and we did, and we rejected right from the open.
That was a key level for sure.
Yeah. So, and on NQ, I think we got a bit higher. So I actually didn't get all the way to the open. So I think on NQ, I got to around, I think I was just looking for the gap to fill. So from here to here. And because the market is so volatile, that was, I think, close to 100-point move from here to here.
Yeah, damn.
It was like 70 points or 80, might have been like 80 points, close to 80. So in volatile markets, like playing with micros, I'm making the same as I would have played with NQ, but scalping with NQ. But I'm taking way less. I'm taking way less risk with the micros. I just need to let it ride in a volatile market.
How much were you risking on that trade with the micros?
Peanuts. Like, so with NQ, like I literally, like if I'm playing minis, I literally risk maybe max 3 or 4 points because I use the strategy of stop orders. So if I put a stop order in here, my stop is going, and let's say I get filled here, my stop is going under here, which, okay, so this is another reason why I'm liking the micros in this market environment, because even with my strategy of stop ordering on the 5-second chart, I'm still risking 10 points, like, which is a lot on minis. Like,
sure, definitely a lot.
Yeah, so on micros, 10 points is is not a lot. So
No.
even with a couple contracts, maybe 3 contracts or 4, that's very manageable. So that's why I think yesterday micros worked really well. And just in general, I'm going to experiment with micros more because I feel more peace of mind too. With minis, if it doesn't work out in my favor, like I'm taking pretty decent losses.
Pretty
on
big
it. Like,
risk.
yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
that's why like I feel like when the volatility is so strong like this, I think traders, especially intraday traders, just tend to do better because of that exact reason. They can lower size and use even like they can lower their size but still capture like much bigger moves, where it's like when the volatility really dries up, people start feeling the need to up their size and go to minis because they're like, I used to be able to capture 50 points easy on an intraday move, and now catching 50 points would be like a huge move for the day depending on the volatility. So then they up the size, but I feel like when you up the size, it still becomes more dangerous even if the volatility is lower.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one thing I have to, once this volatility does dry up, like I have to be selective too. I have to be okay with not making as much in a less volatile market, which might be an adjustment, but the idea of having a red day like isn't a big deal. Like if I'm losing a couple points on micros for the day and I know I just don't have it that day, I can close up shop and be like, yeah, I can come back the next day. But if I'm taking big hits with minis, it's a little bit more does more psychologically, where I'm like, damn, like I just took a big hit on the minis.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna continue with the micros. And even if I want to size up with the micros, I can do 5 lots of micros, like 10 lots, 10 contracts of micros is 1 mini.
Yes.
So I can either do like 6 micros, and if I'm if I'm playing with house money, then maybe I size up and I'm like, okay, I've had a really good day. And I'm really confident in a trade. That's a potential, way to increase size a little bit.
And what's the account size you're trading?
It's a 50K.
And it's a 50K. So yeah, I think that's perfect, man. I think that's perfect.
For sure. So yeah, this liking that the stream is definitely helpful. So I've been learning a lot too. So
let's go, guys. That's the point. It's the whole point.
Yeah. So yeah, that was one of the trades, and then I took another trade on NQ. It was I actually forget which one it was, but I think it was later in the day. I think I might have grabbed maybe this one. So these were really nice plays down here as well. So this is that 1 hour value area, 1 hour value area, and we just held it really well here. I might have gotten this one to try to get back to the open, but I think I made a play on NQ looking at ES because I remember we got like up here, and I might have closed the trade up here. I can't quite recall, but it was like a stair step, I feel. And in my head, I'm thinking we're gonna get to the open, and it might have been one of these, but like, oh yeah, it was somewhere. Maybe it was around here where I got in, and then I was like, yeah, we're definitely getting to the open, and I cut the trade like up here. And this is me just like locking in gains, but that's where I think I need to work on my conviction muscle, where I'm like, okay, I have conviction that we're gonna get to the open. And even if I'm feeling less risk tolerant, I can just move my stop to break even and be like, if we get back into here, then I'm wrong. But I think we get to the open, and literally we just had a little pullback and then this huge spike up to the open. So for me, it's like this helps me kind of flex my conviction muscle and let the trade kind of ride out a bit more, especially if I'm using micros. So yeah, that's kind of the day, and I definitely got just went long. I didn't take any shorts, just looking for really good plays off strong levels. And yeah, buyers were in the mix, and volatility was there. And when there's volatility, these levels usually, they get respected well. We might have a breakthrough quickly, but then come back in, and then there's a good play that sets up around there.
Those volume profile levels that you marked were like absolutely the key levels for the day, especially that lower portion. I mean, that caught the bottom. It actually aligns with, we can go to my charts in a little bit, the previous day's point of control. I don't know if you had that marked off, but I mean, NQ, like tapped its previous day's point of control practically to the tick. And that was the low of day on FOMC, which was pretty awesome to see. At least I use the way I use the point of control, I use the electronic trading hours. So my profiles include Asia and London, and that point of control was at 25.46, and it tapped it like to the exact tick. It was like amazing.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, I can pull it up in a sec. I just want to, John, you and some other people have been making me want to make my chart colors, like my background, to be a little bit darker. So I'm trying to play around right now and make it. I still like the like, I don't like dark like black anymore. I used to trade with that, but I think I want to make it a little bit like mine's like white, and I'm kind of getting tired of the straight up white. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the cool thing about TradingView. You can customize it to your liking. I know some traders who like change the color of the candles, which I can never do. I'm too used to the green and red, the Christmas colors, I guess. But actually, I don't associate it with Christmas for some reason. But but I know traders who do like white and blue and all this stuff, and like, you know, at the end of the day, it's just price action movement. So whatever colors you're comfortable with, it works.
Yeah, I made it a little bit darker. I could pull it up, but I feel like I want it a different color, but I'll play with it more later. But I am getting tired of the just like bright white on my eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Let me get my screen up. I'll show you what I looked at. So yeah, Josh in the chat asked, Zach, did you catch the bearish move down to the previous day's point of control yesterday? I was at the gym, missed the play. Yeah, so I caught that, and I caught it on stream. It was awesome. So I could go over that for sure. Okay, so yesterday, quite an interesting day. I mean, really just super choppy in the early morning, but I did catch some shorts on stream to the downside here on PFM TV. Then coming into FOMC though, because that's like the real day I want to focus on. Here is our previous day's point of control right here for me. And again, the way I use the volume profile, guys, like it could always be a little different from other people. So this was my previous day's profile for this trading day. I used the 30-minute time frame to mark my levels. And if you notice, my profiles include the Asia session, the London, like just ETH and RTH together. I've experimented with both. I know some people who like to only use RTH. Other people like to pull very specific fixed ranges, like John, you do a lot of that. This is just how I like to do it. It keeps it super simple, and I find relevancy in the levels a lot. So yeah, this was my target for FOMC, and it's just crazy that it hit perfectly. Obviously, I did not hold all the way to the previous day's point of control, but I did simply get short. Like I got short with micros, so I could use a really wide stop. And it was actually a pretty funny clip, man, because like I really thought I was cooked right here. Like if we go down to the 1 minute, like this looked really good to me. The news release happened here. So this was 2 p.m. Then, of course, like usually what I've noticed with FOMC, maybe you notice this too, John. The FOMC data release, you get like one injection of volatility, then it slows back down. Then 2:30 comes around, Powell starts speaking. And like usually like the minute he starts speaking, whether he said anything yet or not, the market just rips in one direction, which is pretty much what happened here. He was talking for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then we got this move down. But my target was the previous day's point of control because I like to use that as a magnet for price if it hasn't been engaged yet. I call it the 80% setup. I have a whole video on it on my YouTube. It really is one of my favorite setups, and it doesn't present very often because most of the time, by the time New York session rolls around, we've already engaged the previous day's point of control. So it's like a rare thing that happens maybe once a week, maybe every 2 weeks. But when it's there, it's a really high probability target for the day. So we hadn't touched it yet all day. So I was just getting short after the news release and just short small position size and building into the position a little bit as it went against me. Not in like a martingale type of way, but just I started off with like 2 micros and built myself into like 3 or 4, getting in at better prices. And yeah, then we just caught that move down. I got out pretty early, just around here. We caught like 80 points. But yeah, it was just so awesome to see the market trade into this previous day's point of control, touch it to the tick, and then immediately just stair step our way back up. And this is like, you know, that saying, bro, like elevator down, stair step up with the market. It's so real. It just happens constantly. So yeah, it was nice. It was a nice trade. I mean, that was my trade on FOMC. And since then, I haven't even looked at the charts. I actually need to mark my levels right now. So maybe I can do that. I see we're getting a little sell off here.
Yeah. I've had maybe one or two instances where I've grabbed one of those crazy flushes. So what did you do? Like when you saw the flush, did you just like cover it right away? Like
I had a limit order set. So I had a TP.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a limit set. Right. But it was funny, bro, because it went like 3 ticks away from hitting my stop, and I'm on stream just like, all right, guys, we're done, it's over, and then it starts pulling back, and I'm like, this would be a miracle if I'm actually not stopped out now. It was so funny, dude. But yeah, so we caught that.
Nice.
But yeah, so guys, this is how I get my levels up. So I could do this real quick. Just put this in here. Okay, so for me, we got previous day's high on NQ coming in right here, this wick high. Then we have previous day's point of control right here in the middle of the range. So currently acting as resistance short term. We have the value area low. Well, here, this is previous day's low coming in right here. So honestly, man, this is like a really tight range for an FOMC day. Like we really just did nothing in the grand scheme of things. So that's interesting. I will also mark the previous day's value area low, just coming in right here. So guys, if you want prices for these levels, that's 26,216 is NQ's previous day's value area low. Previous day's point of control on NQ is 26,264.50. And I'm sure you guys can get previous day's high and previous day's low. We have the value area high as well coming in right here. I could mark that off too. Sometimes, John, like when the levels are so close to each other within a few points, I'm like, I don't need to have both of these on, you know, but I'll mark it on here just so we have it. So there's our profile, the way that I read. Right now, I'm kind of thinking we can take out previous day's low today. Just from first glance, it looks like we might want to travel there. Maybe we can reverse down after sweeping the previous day's low. But just at first glance, I think that looks probable. I'm just taking a look at ES too. This daily chart just looks crazy to me.
Yeah.
This is nuts. We just have this huge gap still. This is the new week opening gap. I still think this could be a target this week. We still have 2 more days, Thursday and Friday. I think this could be a target. And again, I'm not a perma bear. Like it's just I do really well. I forgot who was on stream with us, but someone else mentioned this. Maybe it was Darius FX. I gotta remember who said it, but we both agreed like what we trade best in is like a market like this price action. This is what I perform the best in because we're still in a higher time frame trend, right? The daily chart is still moving up. So we know higher time frame, we can lean long, but we get significant pullbacks that are just coherent to us as traders. So I can get in, I can take longs up, I could sometimes play mean reversion shorts when we're up in premium. Then when we pull back, I could mark out key levels. I'll have key levels to mark out, and I could play that ping pong a little easier and still trade within the trends, the higher time frame trends. But when the market just does this, some people have a really easy time getting on board with longs, but it's kind of hard for me because it's like you just never really know when the shoe's going to drop from under you. Like you just don't know. Of course, that's why we have stop losses, but yeah, it's just a bit harder for me. So it's not that I'm like a full-on bear, but I'm just waiting for this deeper pullback. And I think this gap can make a lot of sense, guys. If we go to NQ, we have the gap as well. NQ daily chart looks a little bit cleaner, but yeah, we still have just this like major gap. We have this imbalance right here. So this is where like I'm not getting much from the daily. So I got to go to the 4 hour. I like just kind of narrow down my focus. So what I'm seeing on the 4-hour, we had this 4-hour fair value gap right here. The market wicked into it nicely, and we kind of made a new high, but this becomes significant to me. So maybe we can see this better on the hourly. So market taps into this key level, puts in a higher low and a higher high, right? But what's interesting about the way we put in this higher low to me is that we could not get any displacement above this zone, right? So no hourly candle closures above that swing high, and then we pull back. So, okay, when we pull back, what this is telling me, at least for now, is that buyers ran out of steam up here. So what could be the next logical area? Well, we've already filled over 50% of this range, and now it looks like we're going lower. So it really, I think actually previous day's low could be a target, because I don't see any key level in here for price to bounce from unless it just retests this 4-hour gap. But for me, the more often we test a level and we don't get continuation, the weaker it gets to me. So if we keep testing this 4-hour fair value gap, maybe we get another bounce. But if we can't clear any of the highs, I could start thinking this level is getting weak, and we can look for that previous day's low. Last thing I want to mark out is midnight. Oh, this is interesting though. Okay, let me clean this up. Our midnight open is like way above us. So, you know, I like trading towards midnight. I call it the midnight retracement setup, because we often, roughly 70% of the time, we trade up into midnight in the New York session after 9:30 a.m. So, you know, I mean, if you want to keep things as simple as possible and stick with the trend, you also have that midnight retracement open on your side. So you could look to trade up to the midnight open. I wouldn't do it just right here. I would want to see some type of like structure to form after we've just taken out this low. So maybe we have a 5-minute fair value gap in here. We see an inversion here, like, and we retest it and reclaim this area. I think that could kind of give a signal to look for longs up towards midnight, or any of these value areas. So the value area low of the previous day, that might be a higher probability confirmation. So if we can bounce from this 4-hour fair value gap, reclaim the previous day's value area low, you could probably take longs up to the previous day's point of control, rotation. But ultimately with the idea that you can get that midnight retracements. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not, like, again, we're just in such a deep premium that I'm waiting for this market to have a deeper retracement. So I'm seeing both ways right now, which means I'm going to play the price action when the market opens and take my base hit scalps. If I can catch 25 points in either direction with a good entry, I'll take it. It's going to be one of those things that you know, I don't have a clear plan outlined yet. Those are just some ideas.
Yeah. Nice. Really solid analysis. I love good TA.
Dude, I mean, I'm such a nerd. I'm a nerd for it, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I love technicals.
Yeah,
some people don't. Sure. Some people, like, they want to keep it as simple as possible. And I get that too. Like, I totally understand that. But I think there's like a threshold where you can't be you can't oversimplify. Especially in the beginning. I think you need to like nerd out a little bit and learn technicals. And I think then once you have like a good fundamental understanding of whatever concepts you're using, you can then simplify. But you need to like have the complicated understanding first.
Yeah, for sure. And like, even if you know other strategies, like if you have a good, what's the word I was going to use? Not gambit, but like a good overview of all the different strategies, even just a little bit, it can sometimes help you too, like to understand what other traders are looking at, which can help your strategy. Because, you know, there's Fibonacci traders, there's ICT traders, there's volume profile traders, there's EMA traders, there's Keltner channels, there's pattern traders. Like, if you have this awareness, you can be like, oh, like, you can start putting more probabilities in your favor, because you're like, oh, traders are looking at RSI. Like, I know a lot of traders use RSI. If it matches up with one of my strategies and it's hitting RSI, like, there's a likelihood I might even get like a few points. Maybe it doesn't go the full length of what I want, but the likelihood that there'll be some buyers or sellers in that area is higher. So yeah,
Dude, what's funny is every single tool that you just identified, I've used and tried to have strategy. Like, I'm not even kidding. I've used RSI, I've used EMAs, I've used Keltner channels, which are a little bit more obscure. I remember I used Keltner channels for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I agree. And all of these things are still in my mind. Like, I still like to look at the 21 EMA sometimes for trend continuation. I think the 21 EMA on a higher time frame, like 4 hour and daily, is actually a really good spot for trend continuation on the higher time frames. I obviously use volume profile. What else? I use Fibonacci. I use Fibonacci retracements. I like to look at the 50%. I talk about that all the time. Like, here's an example, guys. I like to use the 50% retracement. So let me clean up this chart. And all I do with this, like, I keep it super simple because a lot of people like to use the like 61.8, 0.786. Golden pocket, which I love that. I used to use that all the time. But what I simplified for me when I am looking at a fib is just this 50%. So I just pulled this fib from the swing high here to the swing low, right? There's my 50% of this market. And all I use this for is when I am looking for like a continuation move. When we are above the 50%, I see the market in a premium. When we are below the 50% of that move, I see the market in a discount. So simply looking for longs below here on this pullback, you can get a discounted price for quick moves up. If you're looking for those shorts, you want to wait till we pop above the 50%. So right here, when we tapped into premium, you had a nice little short opportunity. Right here, tapped into premium. This was the swing high that has now brought us down here. But look, each time we tap above, we're going lower. And I bet if I pulled a 61.8 right here, it would probably line up perfectly. I think I still have one. Yeah, right here. Yep, 61.8 right there.
Yeah.
So shout out fibs. But yeah, I keep it super simple with just that 50% now. And I just gauge it. Premium above the 50%, discount below. But yeah, to your point, like I've tried out everything, and these things are still in my mind, even when I'm just trading ICT with volume profile.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. That's why I say there's many different strategies out there. You gotta, just find what works for you. When I found volume profile, like I was like, to me, it just made so much sense. The reason I like it is because it's like you're using previous price action history. Like with some of the more forward-looking indicators, I would say, you're not so much looking at what happened previously in the market. Yeah. Which to me, I felt like volume profile kind of gave me more insight into what the market's trying to do. But yeah, it can all work if you use it correctly. Yeah, to your point too, like learning price action, if you're a new trader, just learning price action is huge, right? Learning higher lows, higher highs, lower lows, lower highs, like on every time frame, that'll level up your knowledge of trading a lot. And I think it's kind of like a prerequisite too. Like if you're getting into the market, just know what a higher low is, know what a lower low is. And then you start kind of building from that and building a strategy.
A lot of people like think they know market structure too, and they don't know market structure as well as they think. But it's so important to me. Like it's so important. I feel like that's the foundation. You need to have that before you start, incorporating tools to help aid with that. You need that clear understanding of market structure.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. There was another thought I had. Yeah, actually, so Lamont, he's the main teacher that I learned volume profile from. He calls it looking left. I always like that term, looking left.
I like that
where
too.
you're looking at previous market history. And the other thing that I was going to mention too, like there's pattern traders. I can never get going with patterns because they're subjective.
Yeah.
But one thing that stood out to me when I looked at this, I don't know if she's from the Chart Guys as well. Her name is Lori.
A little bit I've seen of her. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she still does her morning stream. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm not sure if it's still on. But she would call right now, like I could see she would probably be looking at a diamond reversal pattern. So you could draw a diamond from the low to the high, like
From like this low to this high.
yeah, even from like I can't put my mouse cursor, but like if you even go to the left where the balance starts, like right at a little bit after 1800 o'clock, like
After, oh, like further back.
yeah, but then go higher right there. Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
Like draw it there, click to the high, and then click to the right to create a diamond. So like level it with the left side, and then
I messed it up, but I get what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, something like that. So she would call that a diamond reversal, but like patterns to me, it's not enough information for me, right? Because like there's so much context missing. If you don't know what the market's previously doing and what the market's trying to do, like it might eventually work, but when will that diamond reversal play out? It could be 2 days from now. It could be tomorrow. It could be next 100%, week. 100%. You know, so like in the meantime, the market could go sideways. The market could go up, down. So if I'm relying totally on that diamond reversal for it to play out right away, I might be like not in a good place, you know?
Are you familiar with Power of Three? It's an ICT concept. You may have heard of it.
I have not. No, sounds interesting though.
So Power of Three is pretty similar, I think, to that diamond pattern. But I guess you go a little bit like they try to define things so a little bit more. So the Power of Three concept with ICT is 3 powers: accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So really, I mean, to simplify this, like I can see the beginning of or not the beginning, I can see a Power of Three playing out in this price action right now. And this is how it works. So you have 3 phases of the market. You have accumulation, where the market is just in a consolidation in a tight range, not doing much of anything. Then you have the manipulation phase, where the market essentially creates sellers up here, buyers down here, right? So people have stop losses below, they got their stop losses above, and there's a lot of participants in the market when you're in this range, which also when you're in that range, a lot of volume is getting built up. So there's just an accumulation of orders on the top of the range and the bottom of the range, like naturally, right? So this is your accumulation phase. Then what happens is the market manipulates. He calls it manipulation. So you will take out one side of that range, whether it's the bottom or the top, whichever one comes first. That's your manipulation phase. So essentially, all of these people that were short with their stops right above here, they're stopped out. There's also probably a lot of people buying the breakout of that range, like a classic thing. And then, so that's the manipulation. And then the distribution is the market now going to the opposing side of that range, basically to just wreck as most people as humanly possible. And that's the idea. So this was our accumulation phase right here. This was the manipulation. And now it looks like we're in the distribution phase where we're going down and we might be coming to the opposing side of the range. So ideally, if this is going to work out like textbook, it should take out this low, which is previous day's low. So I mean, it's a lot of word salad to just explain we're in a range, the market sweeps out one side and then goes to the other side to stop the most people out. But it's what I like about it is that it gives like a definition for each 3 phases. So this isn't something that I'm constantly looking at. But again, like I have so many hours under my belt of like watching technical analysis videos that this is in my mind subconsciously, you know, or a little bit conscious of it. And I can recognize it. So this isn't necessarily like part of my trading strategy, but it's something that I've looked at enough that I can kind of recognize it when it's occurring. And it, like you just said, it could add confluence to my system or my strategy. So yeah, I think we'll probably get this previous day's low. And then who knows, like maybe then we just rip higher. So maybe we sweep out this low and then maybe we create another power of 3. Like maybe we sweep out this low and then we consolidate for a little bit, and then maybe we do like an extra sweep, and then we distribute. And that could be your accumulation, your manipulation, your distribution again, because the price action is fractal, which I think you would agree with, since you look at like a 5-second chart. Like if I zoomed in to a 5-second chart and didn't tell you what time frame it is, you wouldn't know if that's a daily chart, a weekly, a 4-hour, 1 hour, or a 5-second. It's all the same price action. It just it's literally just the time component.
Yeah, 100%. This is really good stuff. we should write a book, Zach.
Yeah, chat, take notes, clip it.
Yeah.
I gotta get a timestamp for that one.
Yeah. Very nice.
But yeah, chat, I mean, what are you guys looking at? I saw someone wanted me to take a look at gold. I'm down to do that. I have a few friends who have been like just not having fun with the NQ recently, and they're like, I'm taking my talents over to gold because gold's moving a little bit better right now. So I mean, I'm down to take a quick look at gold.
I did see that this morning actually on X. Someone's like, I'm switching to gold. Sorry, NQ. And I was like, all right. But you know, if you're confident in your strategy, you can probably use it in any asset really. But asset, you know, instrument hopping, like, yeah, it's good to experiment, but look at the reason of why you're hopping.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Really good point. Like, just because something's not working in your system for a couple days doesn't mean like you need to trade an entirely different market. Like, facts.
Yeah, especially if you put the hours into one instrument and you know how it moves. And that's actually like, that's a you know, Dan would mention this as well. He's like, yeah, find your horse in a way like that. You can see how it moves and you understand the nuances of, because that can put probabilities in your favor if you understand an instrument. And if you're new to an instrument, maybe just watch it for a few days before you trade it, because the instrument might do something with your strategy that repeats over and over. Like maybe it breaks a level in your strategy but then comes back in, or maybe it holds your level perfectly all the time. And you know, that's good information for you to have to put probabilities in your favor.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of that. I mean, I don't think I've taken a trade on anything but the NQ in over a year, personally. I feel like I've watched the NQ so much that I kind of have seen its personality. I kind of get how it moves. So it's just what I like. But I do know people who will trade a couple. They'll have maybe 2 or 3 instruments, and it's the same thing. They've just spent a little extra time learning the characteristics of 3 instruments instead of 1. And then, you know, if they do know those instruments well, they have the luxury of maybe moving over to one that's moving a little bit more closely aligns with the way they trade.
Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, to each his own. And I probably can't say much. So like, if someone's moving to an instrument, they might have a good reason. You know, I just caution just to not do it frequently. Like if you're losing in one instrument, thinking another instrument's gonna help, it might not be. But I don't know. It all depends.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know,
it's just like strategy. Like I think a lot of people go through that cycle. Like they try a new strategy. I don't know about you, but every time I used to try a new strategy, it would work perfectly for like a week. I don't know, it just is how it goes. And then I go through the inevitable losing streak. And like a lot of people are in that cycle where they think something's supposed to work every day, every single day, and it doesn't work for 1 or 2 days. They're like, I gotta get out of here. New strategy.
Like me and you, Zach, have been trading for a while, and we have red days. Like those are inevitable. Like for me, and this is where I think the stream is helping me. It's helping me like be aware of my red days just by talking about it out loud. Like when I have a red day, can I be okay with a red day? Like that has to be a yes, because if you're confident that your strategy works more than 50% of the time, you're going to have days where it doesn't work. And that's just kind of the nature of it. It's just being psychologically prepared to be like, okay, today's not my day, you know, just wipe the slate clean for the next day and move on. Like knowing when it's not your day is very, very important. So,
dude, absolutely, man. Yeah, that's how it was for me on Friday and Monday. And it was like, I recognized it by the morning. Like every day is a clean slate for me. I'm like, I'm ready to go. But if it starts not, and I know, because we, like you said, we've been trading long enough. It's like, I know this ain't my day. It's just not my day. I'm either going to size down, or, there's so many different ways you can go about it. You could just size down significantly if you still feel like you want the itch to trade, or maybe you think like this can turn around. Okay, fine, but size down. Or when you're trading props, like this is where we have a luxury as prop firm traders. I could trade with multiple different firms. I could have multiple different accounts. Like maybe if I take a loss on one, instead of trying to like hammer that account and make the money back, let's just chill with that account, keep my risk tight, and risk sync. I call it risk syncing. Move over to a different account. Now, if I take a loss on that one, okay, I took 2 losses in a row, but at least both of the accounts are not close to being blown. It's just 1 loss on each account. And these are luxuries of prop firm trading that, people didn't have back in the day. So you should use them to your power, because you can exploit these things to make it easier for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
That's funny. I am Gold. This guy's YouTube name, he's in the chat a lot. His YouTube name is I am Gold. And he said, gold fits my personality, which doesn't surprise me. If you made your YouTube name, I am Gold.
Yeah. I know a lot of traders trade gold, which is really nice.
Yeah, especially for futures. I feel like that's a second favorite for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, touching on a lot of good points. Man.
Hey, we got Zach Sweeney in the chat. He's a homie of mine. What's up, man? Shout out Zachary Sweeney. We got the same name.
Nice.
But yeah, man. So, all right. So, what's your plan for today? I know you got to hop off soon, John. Do you have a game plan? What are you going to be looking for? Are you going to trade in the morning? Are you going to just wait till the PM session like usual? What are you thinking?
Yeah, definitely today is PM session. Based on how price is setting up right now, I'm just looking. I just drew up my levels for ES. I have to do it on NQ, but on ES, because we don't have the open yet. Yeah, it's not very clear to me. Like, yeah, this is yesterday's value area. We're in yesterday's range. The overnight session is not giving me too much information. Like, yeah, it's kind of like now we're dropping lower, but yeah, to me definitely feels like a trade later day.
Yeah,
because we just ran up a lot. We just had FOMC. I don't know if the market wants to go higher. Maybe we go sideways for a little bit before we go higher. Maybe we drop a little bit before we go higher. I'm less confident that we just shoot up straight from here, just because of the sideways action.
Yeah.
But I think I'll have more information later in the day to make informed decisions.
Yeah, makes sense to me, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to play it by ear. We'll see what the open brings us. Like I said, guys, I really can see both scenarios, which I know is not not trying to be a guru about it. Like, it could go either way. It's just the truth. I think I could see the longs at the open. I could see the shorts. So it's going to be really up to the intraday volatility. Like, we'll see what setups form, and we'll decide if we're going to take it. And as always, I'm going to walk you guys through my ideas if we do take a trade.
Yeah, for sure. If I was to take a trade, if I was really interested in the overnight session, I might attempt something here. Because there's not, in the overnight session, since there's not a lot of volume, I know it takes a lot of volume to try to get here. Unless, we do see a big uptick in volume. But once we get here, because this is an hourly level, that could be like a nice scalp. I don't know if we rotate to the other side of the gap. But again, this is just ES, so I'd have to look at NQ as well, because NQ could be giving me some information also. But you can see where we're kind of, maybe we front run this and head up now. But this is where I like kind of the strategy. Like I would do something like this. If I was really confident in this level, I might enter one contract here. And then once we get down here, I'll average in one more contract and then set my stop like here. So that if we bounce, I can sell half, get risk free, and then I can let the other half ride to here. So I'm not super confident in this level right now though, because I haven't looked at everything. But here I might put another stop order, right? And if let's say we get another little rip up to here, you know, could be half. But sometimes I let it kind of touch this level because we could pop in and then pop out. But yeah, that all depends. But looks like we're getting a little, let's see if buyers push.
Yeah, I feel like there's two ways you can go about when you're at a key level, right? You can just get in right at your key level and try and get the best price possible. And then you don't even need the best reaction, right? You could, if you're scalping, you could technically just play the volatility off that zone and catch a quick move, anticipate the volatility, or you wait for like the confirmation entry and you wait for price to react the way you want it to react. And then you look for an entry. Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Yep. So I would have sold half here. And now I'm risk free in the trade, and now my stop is like here, and maybe we get here. I don't know, and it depends too. Like maybe I just want a quick scalp. I'm not super confident in the market in either direction. So right here, I could have just made, I don't know how many points that would be on NQ. That'd probably be like 5 points.
Yeah,
you know,
I give or take.
Yeah, but let's see if we hold this level. Like maybe I would go in again if I'm like, okay, buyers are not going to get in. Maybe I enter again. And that's the thing, like with these strong levels, I'm not afraid to try again, like to go again.
Sure.
Because more likely than not, like if I have confidence and I don't feel like there's enough sellers in the market, like I'll just go again, because that's what the market does. It just retests the level just to see if we're going to hold it. And even here, like, yeah, again, it seems like it's working, but I look at a few more things before I fully commit to a play. But these levels do hold. Like this is an hourly level, so I have more conviction that they hold than not.
Yeah.
Unless like what I would want to see from sellers is just like a boom like this right now, and then I would look maybe for sells here, maybe. But the market's so bullish that I probably even wouldn't look for sells there. But you can see we're heading up now, so this level is holding really well.
Yeah,
and maybe we rotate to here. So we'll see.
Nice, man. Yeah, I think that's some clear analysis. Yeah, dude, great stream as always. We love having you on and just getting your perspective, especially with the volume profile. I feel like volume profile is finally starting to get the shine it deserves, because it's not as common of a tool. And I feel like there's a lot of people lately who are starting to see the value in the profiles.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully there's not like no, it'll take a while before there's like arbitrage and the market catches on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, I don't think it'll ever happen, because even it's crazy because like you'll see my levels play out time and time again, but I'm not always right. Like,
yeah.
And that's where like, and this is where, I don't know if you've read Trading in the Zone, and something I'm trying to adapt a bit more, where he says, if you're confident in your strategy, just always take it. And if your strategy makes more than 60%, 70%, you're gonna be profitable. But there's also the flip side, where if I'm hitting every level that I think is going to hold, that leads to over trading, right?
Yeah.
So like I want to be a bit more picky, and that's been my goal, is just refining, looking for more clues in the market so that I can have 100% confidence in every play that I take. And I'm not always going to be right, but coupled with that and also selling half, like that puts me in a risk-free position where the worst that could happen is I lose nothing. So yeah, there's ways to mitigate your risk and make you feel comfortable in a trade. So Dan always says that. He's like, if you're not comfortable in the trade you're taking, then you're probably risking too much, right?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. You should always, no matter what happens, win or loss, you should be perfectly secure with either outcome. And if you're not, you're risking too much, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I hope volume profile catches on, and like I'm happy to continue to share information. I know ICT is really good, and your strategy looks really good too, Zach. So yeah, I think and I've been watching the stream too. Like there's a lot of good traders out there. Like amazing. It's so cool.
Yeah, we've had such a good like range of guests who trade all different styles. It's been so fun for me as the host, man. Like I'm having just a fun time learning from all these people, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so very cool. And I liked, I forget his name yesterday. Seems like you know him really well.
Tanner.
Like you guys had Tanner. Yeah, you guys had a good time yesterday. He's fun. He He's cool.
He's good vibes, man. He's good vibes for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, let's see if we hold this level and we can rotate here. That could happen also.
Definitely.
So yeah, I have to get. Well, I kind of want to stay on the stream. As you can see, I'm still talking.
Hey, man, you can always stay. You can always stay.
Yeah. I think I have a few messages. So yeah, prop for match. Definitely check it out. Our team is rocking it. We have such a good team. We have a big team now. Definitely have to get back and see what everyone's doing. But yeah, just a great team. Zach, you're a great host, and we keep growing, and we want to offer traders the best resource for prop firms. And we really like what we're doing. So head over to Prop Firm Match, and if you're not in the prop firm, haven't used a prop firm challenge, check it out. You can compare challenges and see what works best for you. So yeah, shout out propfirmmatch.com.
Shout out Prop Firm Match, big time. By the way, guys, we're gonna run a giveaway right now. We'll take a little. We'll get some entries in. I'll tell you guys how to get your entries in. We'll give away some futures accounts, but also on Prop Firm Match, we have our Halloween flash sale. So October 28th to October 31st, you got a couple of days, one more day left, and you're gonna get the best deals possible in this little time window. So we have a lot of Forex firms that we got going on. You got Blueberry Funded, 30%, 35% off. Code is Match Spooky for the Halloween flash sale. So not just Match Spooky. Again, just head over to Prop Firm Match /Halloween, and you'll be able to check this out. We got Maven on there, Bright Funded, Seacrest Markets, and we do have I believe we got Top One futures as well. So for my futures guys, 55% off is like an insane discount. So check that out. Again, you can compare and contrast your favorite props, and yeah, we'll get a giveaway running. Also, I just see that we added this to the website. This is awesome. So you can check out the stream directly from the website now. Just once you're on the website, pop up to the top and click watch now.
Yeah, definitely. And we actually have in the plans, we're going to see if we can do it, but we want to have a little tiny window where the stream is playing right in that top bar. So there's some movement, and you can, kind of click on it and go directly to the stream.
Yeah, Joseph was telling me that would be such a cool idea. Yeah,
for sure. Cool. Well, yeah, we're holding the level. We popped into the POC, and now it looks like we're going to rotate the gap. So yeah, could be an interesting long play at the moment.
All right, let's keep our eyes out on that long, guys.
Yeah, cool. But definitely use more context. I never like talking in absolutes unless I've looked at everything, but it's looking pretty decent.
Of course.
Yeah.
Not financial advice, guys.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Right. Of course, man. Thank you so much, bro. And we'll talk soon. And yeah, we'll have you on again real soon. Monday, right?
Monday. Yep.
There we go. All right.
Have a good weekend, bro. Everyone. Yeah, thank you.
Later.
See ya. Bye.
All right, chat. Shout out John, right? Shout out John, as always. Awesome technical analysis. I mean, I love his technical analysis because we're a little different, but we have a lot of similar concepts. So I feel like I learn from him. He learns from me. And yeah, W. John, man, our co-founder, Prop Firm Match. It's cool when your boss is a trader. You get to talk trading. But yeah, guys, we can get this giveaway going. I do want to run a giveaway. We got some accounts to give away. Make sure to come back tomorrow, because tomorrow we got Maven on. Again, I've already mentioned this, but we got Hunter from Maven Trading coming on, Prop Firm owner. And it's going to be our little Halloween stream special. Yeah, but let's run a giveaway. We can give away some Blue Guardian accounts to start, some futures, 25K Blue Guardian accounts, no activation fee. We all like those, right? So let's do this. First off, guys, I'm going to run this giveaway regardless, but for our next giveaway, I want to up these likes. So if you are watching, we got 55 people watching. Let's get that like counter up to 55. I think that's realistic. We can make that happen, right? So smash the like button. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break before our guest Wilksey comes on. And what we're going to do is I want to get your entries for the giveaway in first. So to enter the giveaway, type John in the chat. Shout out, John. That'll be how you get an entry in. and I will announce the winners of the giveaway. We'll give away 2 Blue Guardian accounts, and we will do that as soon as I get back. So stay tuned to the stream. We'll just do a quick like 3 to 5 minute break, and we'll be right back with that giveaway. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be right back, and peace. All right, we back, chat. That wasn't even 5 minutes. No. So that was a quick one. We are back. Let's get this giveaway going, and we'll have some fun, man. We'll have some fun. I'm excited for Wilksey FX. I'm assuming he's an FX trader. I haven't spoken with him much, so that'll be a brand new conversation. Don't know anything about the way he trades, but that's always fun for me, man. You know, I could just have a totally new person, learn about their style, their trading. So that'll be a cool conversation. He's going to be coming on at 9:30. So, okay, guys, real quick, if you notice, I'm always saying this, but just in case, I want to make sure I don't miss anyone's entry. So just go ahead and enter at least one more time. Type in John in the chat. I'll give you guys 30 seconds. Even if you already entered, just get your entry in. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone right here. I'm copying the names. So get that entry in. Give you guys like maybe 20 more seconds. We'll give away some Blue Guardian accounts. There we go. Now they're coming in. Yeah, man. I mean, this today on as far as bias goes, it's going to be a bit tough. I can see both scenarios. I still am leaning short. I would love to see this market just rip to the downside. Nothing would make me happier. And I'm not a perma bear, but nothing would make me happier than seeing this market rip to the downside after this like crazy week that we've had. All right, I think that's going to do it for the entries. I think everyone probably got a chance to enter. So we'll get this going. Let me get my music back on, man. All right, we'll get this entry going. Let's get this list. We'll do a quick pinwheel. Nice. We got a lot of entries. All right, let's do a quick pinwheel, chat. Make it nice and easy. Bam, we ready? Who thinks they're gonna get it? Who's feeling lucky today? I'm feeling lucky today. I'm not gonna win the giveaway, but I'm feeling lucky. Like, I think we're gonna have a nice green day on the funded accounts. That's what I'm thinking, man. All right, let's spin it. Let's hit it with a drum roll. You know what I mean? All right, let's see who's got it. This is for the first account. We'll give away 2. Oh, just made it. Sam James, you're the winner, bro. So what I want you to do, first off, just let us know you're here in the comments, okay? Sam James, just let us know you're here, and then I'll explain how you can claim your account. Okay, so this is for October 30th. Sam James, I see you in the chat. Congrats, bro. So all you're going to do, it's very simple, man. Just go to X, and I want you to DM Prop Firm Match Support on X. Okay, so I'll drop the link here in the chat for you. Just DM them, send them a screenshot, show proof of your YouTube name, matching your YouTube name. And that's it. They'll hook you up. It does take a couple of days. So like, if they don't answer you immediately after the stream, like, don't think there's anything wrong. It takes a couple of days to get your account. We do giveaways every day. So, just got to be a little patient there. Also, guys, by the way, we're still running our little promo. So let me show you guys this right here. So if you don't win an account, you still got a chance to get a free 25K challenge account. All you have to do is submit an honest review with any futures firm on Prop Firm Match and get rewarded, okay? Hopefully you have been trading your firm for at least 2 weeks. As long as you've been trading it for 2 weeks, you will get a free 25K account, okay? It's only for the first 500 people though, okay? So there's no time limit on this. It's just a matter of first come, first serve. So first 500 entries, it's probably getting up to being finished too, because we started this yesterday. So yeah, just make sure if you still want an account, if you've been trading with a futures firm for at least 2 weeks, go ahead and just submit a review on Prop Firm Match. But all right, we'll remove that name and let's run one more. We'll do another Blue Guardian account. All right. Drum roll. Money Glitch. Sick name, dude. Money Glitch. I like that YouTube name. You're the winner of a Blue Guardian account. Congratulations, bro. Just again, let us know you are in the chat. And you're going to do the same thing. Just go to PFM Support on X and you will get hooked up. Congrats, my friend. So Money Glitch, all you got to do, go to Prop Firm Match Support on X. Okay, I'll drop the link here for you. Go right there to X, DM them, send them a screenshot and just like a timestamp or something and proof of your YouTube name matching that. So your YouTube name needs to be Money Glitch and they'll get you hooked up right away. It's for 25K Blue Guardian Futures account, the standard challenge. 25K. But yeah, congrats, guys. We got more giveaways to do. I still got 6 accounts I can give away. So don't worry. If you haven't won yet, you still got some time. But again, I mean, also, if you've just been trading with Prop Firm Match and you got a futures firm, you could just leave a review and you'll be able to claim a free 25 account that way as well. But yeah, congrats, guys, on the winners. And yeah, more giveaways to come. So no worries. Money Glitch is a nomad streamer? What does that mean, bro? We'll do more later, guys. If you're a regular watcher, you will get an account at some point. Yep, Dharmesh gets it. You will. We hook up our family here. So especially if you're like active in the chat, don't worry. You'll get hooked up. You'll get an account at some point. But yeah, guys, let's take a look at these charts. We got Wilsy FX coming on in a few minutes. I see we're at 68 likes. That's fire. Hopefully we hit 100 soon. We can run another giveaway when we get to like 80 though. All right, depending on when Wilksey gets on. I don't like to run giveaways in the middle of an interview because I just feel like it breaks up the flow. You know, so maybe if we hit like 80 likes before Wilksey gets on, he's going to come on in like 5 minutes. We'll run a quick giveaway. If not, we'll do it right after. Let me make sure Wilksey can get on. I got to give him the link to the stream. Is anybody familiar with Wilksey FX? Have you guys heard of him? I've actually, and I don't mean this in like a disrespect way. I just, there's so many traders. I haven't heard of him personally. So I'm looking forward to chatting with him. But yeah, I'm assuming he trades FX. Zach, not only are your trading skills, you have skating skills are awesome, man. Thanks, bro. Yeah. I think a few people have like found my personal Instagram account, which is like mostly skating stuff, which is totally cool. But yeah, I got like my personal Instagram is all about my skating. Okay, make sure he gets this link. All right, let's get this. Who liked this AMD, this accumulation, manipulation, distribution? This worked out beautifully, man. I feel like that was a nice little educational snippet about AMD. Worked really well. Let's clean this chart up, though. We don't want our charts too messy. You know what I mean? So, okay, midnight is way up here. That's one thing, like, guys. Midnight retracement, it's one of my favorite setups. It's all the way at the top of the range. Like, it's so annoying for me because I don't want it to be at the top. I want a short, but now we have midnight above. So I have like some conflicting information, you know what I'm saying? Josh says, we'll know if he's a real trader if he takes a live trade during the interview. Hey, yes and no. Sometimes there's just no good trade though. So, you don't want someone to feel pressured to take a trade just because they're on stream. If they're a real trader, they also just, maybe there's no setup, and they have the patience to wait. So it can go either way. You can't force a trade. Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. So what accounts should I trade, guys? Should I trade my Tradeify accounts or should I trade my Apex accounts? My Apex accounts, I traded those during FOMC and we got off to a good start. So these are my first trades. This was my first day on Apex and we got up to like $436. The other two have 387. I don't know what happened there because I was copy trading, but no big deal. So we got Apex and I also got my Tradeify accounts, of course. So we'll see. You guys think I should trade Apex? All right, I'll do Apex. See, that's something I could listen to the chat with. If chat tells me to take a trade, I'm not going to just take a trade. But if chat tells me trade Apex instead of Tradeify, I'll do that. I'll listen to you guys on that. Benjamin's saying Tradeify. Also, guys, I need to actually check this out. So the spooky deal does not have funding ticks included, but I just want to point out this funding ticks deal because it is insane. And funding ticks is a listed futures firm on prop firm match, but funding ticks is currently running a 50% off sale. You could use code match for this, but you can get 50% off their instant funded zero accounts, which like, honestly, bro, if I needed some accounts, I was going to just rip this and get max allocation on their instant funded, but I just don't need any accounts right now. Part of me wants to still do it just to like take the opportunity and trade them whenever. I may have to do it. Because like usually they're not running 50% off. Usually they're running like 30 or I've even seen lower. So That's like an insane deal for funding ticks. And if you guys don't know, that's the sister company of funding pips, which is, of course, one of the biggest Forex firms in the space. So, yeah, I don't know. I may still consider it because it's just a really good deal for a good firm. But yeah, code match for that. I just don't need any accounts, which is a nice, that's a nice problem to have, that I don't need to like buy new accounts, right? All my accounts are doing good. You know what, guys? Wilksey is going to be on any minute. I'm just going to go real quick and refill my water, and then I'm sure Wilksey will be right on with us. So sorry, I'll be right back. We'll run another. Did we get to the likes we need? Let's see. Did we hit 80? We hit 71. Stay tuned. I'll run one more giveaway as soon as I get back. Just give me a sec. I'll be back in like 2 or 3 minutes. All right, what's good, chat? We are back just in time for the 9:30 open, and we have Wilksey in here. So let me join him to the stream. Yo,
yo, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you doing, bro? It's good to have you on. Thanks. Thanks for coming on here on PFM TV.
Glad to have you. Having me.
Yeah, man. So I was telling the chat, I actually haven't seen any of your content personally, which is like, there's just a lot of people out there. So I'd love to just get some background on you. Where you're from, how long you've been trading, what markets do you trade? I'm assuming FX, but could be wrong there. So maybe just give us a little background on like where you're at, who you're from.
Yeah, so my name is Wilksey. I've been trading since 2018. I started my journey back at university, in fact, where I was trying to become an investment banker. So it was quite a correlated industry to go into. And from there, I just fell in love with the game and traded mostly pound yen on the FX side for a few years, failed with my live account for so many years, got to about 2022, 2023. And that's when I discovered prop firms. And ever since at that point, prop firms have just been the way forward for me. I've managed to, do really well with prop firms in the last year or so. And now I'm in the position to be able to just trade full time with prop firms. And yeah, it's a great career if you can do it right. That's for
Love
sure.
it, man. Awesome. Yeah, shout out. I mean, prop firms are absolutely one of the best opportunities for retail traders of all types too. Like, they're great for beginner retail traders because you can learn in a safe, in a simulated environment where your risk is capped, right?
Yeah.
All you're using is the purchase of your eval challenge. That's your risk, So they're great for beginner traders, but on the same, on the coin flip, they're amazing for successful and, proficient traders because you get just insane opportunities for leverage, right? To take payouts that are way bigger than, if you were trying to build up a personal account from scratch, you have an opportunity to really leverage yourself if you have the skills. So I think they're just majorly beneficial for all types of traders. So that's really cool, man. So you've been trading since 2018. So you got a couple of years on me. I started in 2021. So I've been trading about 5 years now, like very beginning of 2021. I started with FX and then eventually moved over to futures. I'm primarily a futures trader. I trade NQ, stock indexes, and I trade futures prop firms. Do you trade FX prop firms or futures prop firms? And what instruments are you liking right now?
So I'm solely on the FX side. The reason being for that is I'm a swing trader. So I trade mainly off weekly and daily. And I do go down onto 4 hour, 1 hour for entries, but mainly I am a higher time frame trader. So obviously I've looked into futures and I've had a little look to see if I could get in, but with the end of day closures, I can't do it. So sticking with the FX, I've managed to put up quite a good portfolio at this point, but I do only trade really just two pairs, which is Euro USD and Pound USD, which obviously on the future side, you can trade them as well.
Yeah.
So I have looked into maybe going down to the lower time frames, but the reason why I don't is because I failed for so long on the lower time frames.
Yeah.
For me, it's hard enough as it is doing what I do now, never mind adding something else to it. So I'm just going to stay in my lane, I think, for the minute and just see where that takes me. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, dude, no, that makes perfect sense. If you're swing trading, you have to go with FX and CFD firms, which is what's great about them. I mean, they let you hold overnight. You can hold for weeks, right? Like, you can't really beat that. Even if you were to, like, let's say, open up a live futures account, if you wanted to hold overnight, you need to have a large amount of you need to have a large account balance. Just for context, like if you want to hold one NQ mini contract overnight, you need to have, right now, it depends on the price of the instrument, but right now for the NQ, you need around a $17,000 account balance just to hold one contract overnight. And if you want to hold two contracts, you need like 25,000. So, but then again, like futures in general are a lot more tailored to lower time frame trading. You have like really good, efficient execution. So like low spread, no slippage, which lends itself to being nice for lower time frame traders. Like me, I trade on the 5 and the 1 minute. I do use higher time frame analysis. I look at 4 hour charts, 1 hour charts, even the daily and the weekly I take a glance at. It's all relevant for me, even as an intraday trader. But yeah, I think that's why I moved over to futures myself, because as a low time frame trader, it's just a little more efficient, in terms of execution for that. Yes. But okay, so you trade Euro USD, and what was the other pair?
Pound USD and Euro USD. So I'm mainly focused on the dollar, and obviously I use DXY as well as a confluence to that. With DXY, it helps so much. I love it. Yeah.
Do you look for divergences between the DXY and the Euro, for example, or are you more trying to see them in move in tandem with each other?
So for a while, I did purely take trades only if it was neutral or aligning with the DXY. But now I realized as I've gone through testing that I will take buys on Euro USD and sells on Pound USD if that is the setup. And usually one will lose and one will win usually. And for me, because I have a high R, which is greater than 1, obviously that gives me profit still. So yeah, I do use a DXY, less so as much as I used to do it. I used to use it religiously back in the day.
Got you. So, okay. I mean, I would love to, if you want to get up your charts, we could kind of get into how you, okay, you're already ready to go. Nice. Yeah, we could, I'd love to see how you trade. One question for you though, because I started with FX too. I loved Euro. I also loved USD Yen. If I was like feeling a little frisky, that was my more volatile FX pair. Yeah, but I loved Euro USD. What I noticed in the last like maybe 2 or 3 years, I've noticed the FX volatility has slowed down quite a bit. Like I remember being able to trade 100 pips on Euro USD back in like 2021. I feel like that was a lot. That would be a big day for Euro USD, but it was common enough that, you know, you saw that. And I feel like now, you know, you're looking at like what, 20 to 50 pips maybe is like an average daily range. Yeah, so how have you adjusted to that with that slow, you know, dry up in volatility?
So for me, I've only traded Euro USD and Pound USD in the last really 1.5, nearly 2 years. So I've gone through testing and realized that there's huge stop losses. So really for me, as long as I can get the target to be 2R or higher, that's a move for me. I'm not too bothered about how many pips. I'm more concerned about the risk to reward. And for me, that's what I look for. But yeah, I have noticed that the volatility, obviously since Trump's come in, is probably a little bit higher at times.
Sure.
Overall, you do see a lot of consolidation. And what you can see on the DXY right now is we have seen a lot. This is the weekly time frame. It's ranged so much.
Yeah.
So I can always break down how I trade, what I look for between all three of these pairs. And I think that will give people a good understanding of how I trade. So,
yeah, I would love that. Also, how long are your trades? Or maybe you'll get into it. Sorry, maybe I'm yapping too much. Just do your thing. Do your thing.
Cool. Yeah. So my trades, it does vary. Obviously, I took a trade this week on Pound USD and it hit TP in the same day, which is the only trade this year that's hit TP in the same day. But otherwise, you are looking at between maybe 2 days, and I've just closed a trade out that took 5 weeks. So it's very varied. What I look for on the DXY really is I like market structure, and I do trade somewhat SMC concepts. You know, really it's liquidity, you know, order blocks and fair value gaps. They're the 3 things I use. I really try and keep it simple overall, because what I don't want to do is put too many variables in it that overcomplicate it. So simply, if I was to go through this week so far, I've been trying to target up at this liquidity high, which is the high that ended up seeing price fail to take out this low. So based on this failure, and obviously we did break through it, but with no candle body. So I like to see that broken. And then I started to eye up areas of interest that maybe price could come into to the upside to drop from. So I like this area of liquidity here. I mean, price, we ended up seeing a weekly candle close right through it here. So at this point, I really like the buys up to this high, which is obviously going to take a while. But as we go into the daily, it makes a lot more sense because the structure was really nice ever since we made this further high. And when we made this high, I was really eyeing up more upside. So what we ended up doing was we come deeper back into this area here on the daily. And after we saw that confirmation there, I was really liking trades. Now I was taking sells on GU all the way down where this was. So I've had trades holding for so long, but it is taking its time to play out. At this point, we saw really price, you know, come up. I was really expecting these to be taken out last week. We saw a failure there to that. And then we pulled back into this imbalance here, which was a really nice imbalance. And then from that point, we shot straight up. I think that was really off the Fed rate yesterday, where we saw that push, and the speech there was just, I watched GU drop to my target like 70 pips in 4 minutes, which I've been waiting for ages. So it was really nice to see. But that was really DXY analysis. And really now I am expecting price to hit this high. If I was to go onto EU to show you guys the trades that I'm currently in, I am in 2 positions. They've come very close to target. So I had, similarly on the weekly time frame, I was chopped up in this area for weeks and I took so many losses. I nearly blew funded accounts. I was trying to sell and I was being bearish ever since we had this issue coming any further up, but we had to clear this high, and from that point it made more sense to sell. And on the daily, I ended up taking a sell here on the Friday, and I did take 1 extra trade, and this trade lost in here. So this trade's only 2R, and this trade I took this morning which is probably more of an insightful one, was purely based on the fact that if we were to just look at structure, we can see that we formed this low and we took out, this low here. We pull back, we can see that these highs we're expecting to get respected. We created another lower high. Now, we started to create higher lows in here, but what you can see from the last 5-6 days of upside is, if you were to look at the movement of that for 5 days, it doesn't suggest upside. 50 pips is not much movement. Yesterday, we got a huge engulfing candle, and I was looking for a trade as we come into London session. So I looked at entering manually, which is rare for me. I usually take limits, and I'm trying to target back down at these lows, which we've just had the euro rate come out at, I think it's 2.15%, which is very similar to, well, in fact, it is the same as previous, but that's kind of priced in. But we are seeing a pullback here. So hopefully these come in, and I've probably, to be honest, the streams come at a perfect time. I've had the best trading week of my career, I think, in regards to the TPs hitting, because I have also been in a lot of pound USD sells ever since September. So this was the trade that took me about 5 weeks to hit TP, which was really nice. It was based on realistically seeing that we created these equal lows down here. Price ran down and it left a little bit of a gap, pulled up into this area. And I was trying to see a break on the weekly of this high. And we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles just respect it. And then we saw a huge wick rejection. At that point, I am not expecting this high to be retested. And then I was just selling from that point, and my targets were all the way down here at the August low, which I took 2 positions in. So one was purely based, and what I usually do is I have higher time frames. So you'll probably be able to see here, if we were to go back, a weekly confirmation candle, I'm simply just looking for a pullback. And to me, because of the rejection, just wanted to see a retest of this daily imbalance fill. And then we saw a drop, and then this weekly candle closed strong, and then look for another pullback. We had a daily imbalance formed off the order block, so that was a really nice area for a continuation. And then it looked a little bit disgusting, I'm not going to lie. We had another medium time frame there that ended up playing out, that come down, and then, I mean, you can see the structure. We're just creating lower lows at this point, lower highs, and really had to trust that, because at times here, we see these pullbacks, and I've done it in my YouTube videos on the weekly reviews, that I was in a lot of funding down here, and up the most I've ever been on any of my funding, and it pulled so far back that I was almost back to break even, and I was up 5 figures to get payouts. And I've never been in that position in my life. So price then ran back down. So on my funding, as we come back down, I did get out of these 2 positions on my funding at this low here, and I did scale in this week as well, really based on, again, another weekly confirmation. So I like the lows a lot. So I see this low that was formed that failed to make this high. This weekly candle previously broke through it. 3 candles failed. So looking for that retest, and I was eyeing up this liquidity high that got taken out, and then we just ran straight down. So I spent 3 months in the summer not taking 1 win, and then this week it's looking like potentially, we're going to get 5 winners, which is crazy the way my trading works. And you have to be so disciplined to stay in your lane and not look at anyone else, because I trust what I do, and it's a very long process, and not many traders that trade props do swing trading. And I really try and just focus on the analysis that I have and trust it, and just hold trades, trading challenges, and letting the challenges hit the full TPs, and letting the funded accounts, once I'm up 2-3%, just scale out of them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny, man, because we have a very similar way that we analyze price. I mean, I use SMC or ICT. I also incorporate volume profile into there a little bit. So, but I like everything you're saying, all of your technicals, I totally understand. Like I'm right there with you, but it's funny because on one hand, we trade similarly in the way we analyze price, but we could not be more different in terms of like execution, bro. So just to give you some background on me, I trade the lower time frames. I'm a scalper on the NASDAQ futures. I used to trade a very high risk reward system. So I used to have like a low win rate, high risk reward model, even with intraday trading, and it works great. At the end of the day, the math is just about your win rates relationship to your R multiple. Like there's a million different ways to skin the cat. I had my first profitable year last year trading like that. I've been trading for 5 years now. But this year I've had exponential growth in my career, multiple 5 figures in just a span of 3 months, just doing really well. But the thing that I've changed is I am scalping lower time frames and actually using a base hit model of 1-to-1s, sometimes even negative risk reward. So I'm trading, sometimes I'll take a setup of 0.5 to 1 on the lower time frame, but I keep my win rate well above 70% doing that. And the goal with me is to limit my executions. So I'm not taking 10 or 15 scalps a day, right? Like getting in and out of the market all over the place. I'm taking 1 to maybe 3 to 4 would be the higher end of executions that I take. I'm using a wider stop. I'm looking for a quick move, a base hit, and stopping. If I have 2 wins, I'm done. And I've just been able to do it like that, build up my account balances more quickly. And I think this is where, because we trade different styles of prop firms, we're naturally going to have a bit of a different execution. Like with futures prop firms, we have trailing drawdown in the beginning, right? So our drawdown trails up. Once you make your buffer, your drawdown then becomes static and it no longer trails. But so a lot of people in the beginning with futures firms, they have a hard time getting through that trailing drawdown. What I learned after trading them for years is that these futures firms really reward a more positive upside equity curve with as least volatility as possible, because you have tight drawdown and a trailing drawdown. So you need to just be able to lock in base hits with a higher win rate. Once you get your static drawdown and you've built up your buffer, you have a static account, and you could change it up a little bit. But a lot of people just can never get through that initial point where they need to build up that drawdown and build up their buffer. So the other thing that I like about futures is the ability to copy trade multiple accounts. So I know, like with CFD firms, you can trade, I'm guessing you trade the higher account sizes, like 100K, 200K.
Yeah. 100Ks, 200Ks is what I go for now. Yeah.
Totally. So I trade the bigger account sizes most of the time, but we have less drawdown. Like, you can get maybe $4,500 of drawdown or $6,000 of drawdown, depending on the account balance. And it's trailing, but once you get the buffer, you create your own. Once you go through that buffer, it stops trailing. But with futures, I notice you have a lot more opportunity to copy trade like a large amount of accounts. I know with CFDs, a lot of people more focus on like one account at a time, and maybe they trade a few different accounts. So I wanted to ask you that, like, do you copy trade your CFD accounts, or do you do one account at a time?
It's a very good question that I've noticed with the futures, especially. Just to start with, when it comes to the challenges, a lot of traders get enticed because CFDs are, phase 1, phase 2. You've got 2 phases. When I look at the futures, and I was looking only a few months ago, you see that you've got just one phase.
One step, 1 day pass. Yep, yes. Totally.
But it's that buffer you need to accumulate in my head is the phase 2.
That's your challenge. Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of traders will be magnetized towards the future side just because of that. Whereas, with the CFD side, it looks a lot more difficult, especially sometimes with 10% you've got to make in phase 1, which is, I don't like 10% too much. And I do prefer 8%, 5%. But
sure,
once you're funded, I think obviously with the CFDs, it's a lot easier to just focus on small payouts. Whereas obviously creating that buffer does create a little bit of, you get a bit anxious about trying to get it. And then once you've got it, I'm guessing you can lose it as well. Can you go below that ever? Or is that?
So the way it works is, let's say you have a 150K account with Tradeify. That's one of my favorite firms. They give you $6,000 of drawdown to start off with. The way it works is once you make $6,000 on that account, the whole time until you make that 6K, it's trailing up at the end of each day. Once you make your 6,000, your max loss limit locks in at the starting balance. So now your account balance cannot go. If you have 100, you would have $156,000 in your account technically. Now your max loss limit is 150,000. So it's locked there. Now, if you make another 4,000, you now have $10,000 of a max loss limit. If you make 20,000, you have that. So your max loss limit is static once you make that buffer. So that's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's good then. I suppose once you've got it and you can keep accumulating profit, it's great if you can keep making profit. But obviously, a lot of traders do struggle. So, as you said, yeah, with the copy trading, I have been in a lot of drawdown over summer. I was copy trading amongst every single funded account, which was quite difficult. And I've realized now, as I accumulate more funding, maybe next year I will start rotating accounts. So maybe a third I'll put into one position, and then if that loses, then the next one wins on the next 3 funded accounts, for example, then that's a payout. So for me, I have been copy trading amongst every single account. I do like low risk. I generally don't go above 0.75% risk on funded accounts with a 10% total loss. But I do find that there's some prop firms, which I don't like, that don't allow copy trading. So that is a limit that I've got to work around. And then that means separately taking positions with new lot sizes on certain accounts, which is really annoying.
Yeah. So that's a big thing with the, again, that's why there's like no better or worse, in my opinion. It just depends on what you're trying to do and the type of trader you are. I've noticed that with the CFDs, a lot of them are limiting the ability to copy trade. But with futures, it's like a major part of the model. You can copy trade with futures. So yeah, it's just a give and take. Like, because for example, like I just took a $10,000 payout with Tradeify last week. I was copy trading 5 accounts. I was using the 50K accounts. Now with those, I had a profit target of $3,000, and then I could take out 2. So all I did, I copy traded 5. I made $3,000 on the accounts. I could take out 10K now. So the ability to copy trade, gives you that ability to scale. And instead of like, if I was trading 1 account and I wanted to make a $10,000 payout, I got to make 10K on that 1 account. But it's harder because in the beginning, I'm having trailing drawdown. I'm having smaller drawdown restrictions. So it all depends. Like it really is all the same. It just depends on how you want to go about it.
For sure. It is the same in different ways. And with the CFDs, especially, you can have multiple different accounts. Some prop firms offer phase 1, 2 phases, 3 phases. And then obviously you've got the instant, which normally more expensive, but with certain different types of challenges, they offer trailing drawdown, 3%, 6% a lot of the time, 3% daily loss, 6% total loss. I always stick to just 2 phase. I always like the simple 2-step at all times. And the reason why is because when it comes to copy trading and understanding the accounts, when there's a lot of variance in the rules, I don't want to get caught out, because it's hard enough as it is with the 2 steps, just, copy trading all of them and knowing the slight intricacies in the rules, never mind having like 3 2-steps, 3 3-steps, and 2 1-steps, for example.
Yeah. You want to keep it all the same so that everything is the same system. I totally agree with that. Completely. Yeah, I completely agree with that. So what I can do real quick, if you want, I could show you a little bit about how I look at the market. NQ is she's pumping right now. So I pretty much only trade NQ. I look at the ES. So similar to you, you take a look at EU and GU. I'm kind of trading, the ES and the NQ are basically the same thing. They're very correlated. I like to look for SMT divergence between the two. That's a major part of my strategy. And also just watching which has relative strength or weakness between the two. But so what I've seen right here, NQ has finally swept out some lows. I mean, we have been in like a ridiculous uptrend, man. Ridiculous bullish trends on the NASDAQ. Yeah. Like if I just go to the daily, I don't know if you pay attention to the indexes at all.
I've looked at gold and I've looked at NQ and ES, and it's been flying for months now. It's crazy.
This week especially has just been ridiculous. Like zero pullback. I'm perfectly fine with trading trend continuation. That used to be a big problem of mine. I was always looking for the reversal, always, especially trading ICT. I think a lot of people, when they're first learning SMC or ICT, they're always looking for a reversal, because that's just kind of the way the concepts, I don't know, a lot of people teach it like that. What I've learned is I got over that basically after a few years, because I realized, and this is part of the reason I like lower time frame trading, I can follow a higher time frame trends. Like for me, a higher time frame trend is like an hourly trend as a day trader, but I can follow that hourly trend and I could still play a reversal like the way I analyze price action, but I could find the reversal on the 1 minute and 5 minute in line with the hourly trend. Where a lot of people, they're just like looking at a 15 minute or something and they're just always trying to find a reversal. So it's really just about like, narrowing down my time frames. But all right, so what I've been seeing on NQ, yesterday we had FOMC. So we finally got a little bit of a pullback, but it was short-lived. We made a new all-time high overnight. I've had my eyes on this new week opening gap, man. It just seems like this is one of those things like, we're going to reach here at some point. It's a matter of time. But we need to see the structure build on the higher time frame. And with what I'm seeing here, maybe we're beginning to get that structure. I like to use inversions for my entries, and I'm always watching the inversion fair value gap. So we inverted a 1 hour here. I mean, this is like the most significant thing that's happened all week in terms of like bearish structure beginning to build. So we got that inversion. We've kind of swept out this swing low. As of right now, it's looking like it could just be a sweep. We'll have to see. Go to the 15 minute. So right now with where we're at, I'm still a bit conflicted on which way I want to go. Again, I'm usually looking for anywhere between 15 to like 30 or 50 points on NQ, which you can get that within 5 to 10 minutes. Most of my trades, I'm in and out within like 15 minutes.
Okay, so it's quick scalping then.
Quick scalping. Very quick scalping, exploiting low time frame volatility, low time frame inefficiencies, getting in, getting out. But what I'm seeing right here, we have equal highs right here, which coincide with the London session high. So this could be a draw. We're in line with that trend on the higher time frame. We've just swept some liquidity. We swept out previous day's low, right? So could we want to come up here? I also use the midnight open a lot, which you probably don't pay much attention to since you're swing trading, but for intraday trading, it's a really strong level for me to just pretty much, it acts as a gauge on whether we're in a discount or premium of the daily trading range. So there's actually stats that these are hard data that for the last 10 years, roughly, we have retraced to the midnight opening price, Eastern Standard Time, roughly 70% of the time in the New York session. So what I use with that, I mean, there's hard data on that you can trust. Obviously, 10 years is a really large data set, and depending on what's happening with the trend and the market structure, there are points where that's working less. But roughly overall for the last 10 years, we've retraced to midnight open 70% of the time. So I use it as a simple gauge, and nothing is black or white. I'm not like, I must follow this rule at all times, but it helps give me context. So anything above the midnight open, I like to try to view the market as in a premium of the daily trading range. And this is only until we retrace to it, because then the stat is fulfilled, right? So if we have not retraced to the midnight open, I like to use a general rule of thumb that we're in a premium of the daily trading range, premium pricing, easier to short. And if we're below the midnight open, I can use that as a gauge that we are in a discount of the daily trading range until we retrace to that midnight open. Now, again, it doesn't have to, I don't always have to follow that, but it's one confluence I use. If I could build a thesis around that, it's one of my favorite ones to build a thesis around. So maybe we can get long. If we get some type of inversion to the upside. We've had a nice 5 minute inversion right here. This could act as a line in the sand, but I'm just so cautious, man, because I've just been waiting for the floor to fall out from underneath us on this NASDAQ. Like, I'm fine with trading trends, but when we are just irrationally bullish or bearish, it doesn't matter which direction. But when it's coming to a point that there's just no pullback at all, I just get to it. I'm like, I know the floor is going to drop at some point. And it's hard for me to, it's just hard for me to not want to short this thing. But right now, I mean, this is honestly looking pretty decent. Like, we have liquidity sweep. We took previous day's low. We're in a higher time frame trend. I wonder if there's like a fair value gap somewhere up here. Yeah, we have a 4 hour gap right here. So we're also inside a 4 hour gap. We could look for this to hold price. We have that sweep. We're in a 4 hour gap. We just inverted a 5 minute gap. We're below midnight open. We have equal highs up here, London session high. I mean, there's a lot of confluence here.
It's looking at, yeah, I was going to say, I've noticed, I've looked after NYC open and I see almost every day there's a sometimes huge pullback, and then it just reverses and goes back up to all-time highs. And I'm just thinking, if I just traded this, I'd be a millionaire. You know what I mean?
What's been happening, man? All week it's been like that. This week has been decent for me. I've had Friday and Monday I was red, so I put in two red days in a row. I feel like that happens to me a lot after a payout. So I took that 10K payout on Thursday, and then Friday, Monday I'm red. So just kind of goes that way sometimes. But I've been sizing down significantly because, again, with the futures firms, you know, I took $2,000 out per account on 5 accounts. I only made 3K initially, so I have a $1,000 buffer right now. So I'm trading super small, like 1 to 2 micros. Okay. But it's fine because I'm trading 5 accounts. So if I make another 2,000 on these accounts, I take another 10K payout. So it's really just about, like, it seems like it's such a small drawdown, but really you just have to size appropriately. And when you're trading multiple accounts, it's not actually, you know, really small size. But so that's what I'm doing. And also because of the market conditions, I've been sizing down. But yeah, I've been able to be green the rest of the week. We've locked in green. So it's been a decent week, but it's just been really small size for me. I'm really just trying to build up my balances a little bit safely. But yeah, I'm kind of liking these equal highs. So I might be interested in a long here. I don't want to get long right up here. And if I did take a long, maybe I could, and this is an if, because we don't know if this will happen, but maybe we can get a pullback into this bullish gap or like the top of this inversion. I also like to get in on limit orders.
Me too.
And yeah, I could use a nice wide stop below this structure and look for either 0.5R or like 1-to-1. And you know, it'll depend on how the price action develops. I'll decide. But yeah, maybe we can look for something like this, guys. I think this is decent. I think we can get a little pullback here maybe before, if we're going to continue. So like maybe we get something like this soon, sweep out these little wicks right here, this low resistance liquidity. But if we ultimately hold this inversion, this could be our short-term line in the sand. And, you know, we get filled around here, try and take that up. So I'll keep you guys posted. If I do take this trade, I'll let you know. But yeah, there's still no entry for me just yet. But yeah, that's kind of how I trade. Yeah, a lot of people, like, the negative risk reward thing seems so counterintuitive, right? Because it's like, what's more attractive? Risk 100 to make 500 or risk 300 to make 200 or 150? It seems so counterintuitive. But with futures prop firms and on the lower time frames, it's just so reasonable to catch those base hits day in and day out. I always say, though, if you're trading a personal account, like just a live personal account, which I also trade, I don't really trade a negative risk reward there because I have a big enough balance. And I actually like to look for more like 1-to-2s. Like 1-to-2 is kind of my sweet spot on the personal account. So, you know, I'm kind of playing the game of prop firms. And with futures firms, you know, they really reward that type of that scalping mentality, especially when, you know, you can't even hold overnight. So, you know, I play the game and it works.
That's so true. Something that, I mean, there's so many things that you've said that resonate with me, especially that last thing. You know, when it comes to prop firms, it's different to your live account. I've got a live account, it's separate. Prop firms are really about rinsing and repeating as much as you can. You know, you secure the payouts. I think with futures, do you have a certain consistency score as well when it comes to needing?
Yeah, it depends on the firm. Like there are some firms that don't have them. There's like 1 or 2. Like Top Step is a big firm. They have no consistency score. But if you're using the instant funded accounts, especially, you have a tight consistency score, like 20%.
Yeah. So it's purely just about, especially if you're on futures, like you say, you know, you need to be trading really multiple times a week to start with. You need to be getting similar risk to reward trades regularly. If one's too high and one's a 3R and most of yours are 0.5 to 0.7, and you have that one discrepancy, you'll get denied a payout. And obviously you've got to play your strategy to an extent into your favor, not the prop firm's favor, which is usually, you know, for you to lose. And most people obviously do lose. But yeah, like I like the stop loss there. When you have it below the lows, many traders like to have it really tight. And I find that's really stressful because if you get stopped out and you go back in for another one, then you go back in for another one. Now you've lost 3. Like, can you take any more trades? It could still be right and it hasn't swept the range low, and then you're kind of in that tricky situation there. So I like the way a lot of futures traders, I've seen a lot on Instagram, TikTok, and I really appreciate the way that these traders trade. Obviously, it's so different to the way I trade, but that's the beauty of trading. Everyone has a different style, and it really is to suit the way you like it. And you can watch other people, and you might think you want to trade like that person. Doesn't mean that you can. And if you can't,
great point.
If you know that you can't trade like them, you've got to figure out how, and it could take you a very long time to figure it out through trial and error. Like me, I failed realistically in trading. I failed for 5 years, and I didn't give up. I loved the game, really frustrating. But at the same time, I was still just trying to find the way that I like to do things. And over time, you figure that out, and don't think just because it's not working now that it will never work. Just try and tweak things, and then over time, you eventually get to the way that you enjoy trading. And that's a big point I want to make.
I love that, man. Yeah, no, it's so true. You can see someone and you think that, hey, I like the way this guy trades, this makes sense. And then you try and put it into practice and it's just not for you. That's so true. I'm a big proponent of I don't really believe in the whole systematic trading strategy thing. I think maybe if you're using a bot and you have a bot that is automatically pressing buy and sell for you, that's a different story. But I think when you're somebody who's manually pressing the buy and sell button, I think it doesn't matter how much you've back tested a specific system, you cannot account for human error. You're going to miss opportunities. And it's just not going to play out the way your back tested results show. So I think a lot of our edge comes from some of the discretion that we use and the nuance that we can identify as, manual day traders or even swing traders. So I don't think you can cut and paste somebody's exact strategy. I think you can learn a lot from people. You can learn their concepts, and you can definitely mirror what they do. But I think the real edge begins to come when you can tweak those things yourself and okay, this guy does it like this, or this girl does it like that, but I tweak it because this makes a little bit more sense to me. And you kind of build off what someone else has done and make it your own.
Absolutely. Back in 1 sec. I've just got to sort something out really quick.
Go for it, man. No worries. But yeah, guys. So, listen, we did, we might've had a technical entry right there, but I just noticed something. I'm not in a long yet because this is a little sketchy for me. We have equal lows right here, guys. We have perfect equal lows on ES and on NQ. So that's concerning for me to look for longs. I'm a little bit sketched out by that. And again, I just feel like we're waiting for the market to drop. So I just identified those equal lows. This looks like it would have ended up working out really nicely. You would have got filled on that limit. And I guess we would look for 180. You might get that. So this might have ended up being a winning trade. But, man, we have equal lows below us. What do we do, chat? I don't know what to do here. So much conflicting variables. Zach, have I seen that 1 hour fair value gap? Which one? This one right here? The one where we just tapped inside? Yeah, I'm aware of this for sure. Honestly, if the bear case is going to work out, this is good. Yeah, this gap should hold. Honestly, guys, now I'm going back to the idea that I think maybe a short makes sense. We have equal lows. This is tough. This is a tough read. I'm not going to lie. This is a bit of a tough read here because we have equal highs above, equal lows below. Which one comes first? That's the question. Oh God, Trump tweeted. Abby says Trump tweeted, "Let the gains begin." No way.
Okay.
Did he tweet that? Oh, I need to check this.
See, I'm not on Twitter, so I wouldn't be able to see anything.
He didn't tweet it, Abby, but maybe he Truth Socialed it. That's his platform form of choice. Send us a link to that. I need to see proof that he said, "Let the gains begin," because that's hilarious, first off. And if that's the case, yeah, that's tough. But maybe you got to fade that. You know what I mean? Bro, okay. I'm sure you know the saying, buy the rumor, sell the news. Pretty simple saying. I'm not much for one-liners or cliches like that, but it's a pretty accurate one. we knew that these rate cuts were coming. Today, yesterday we finally cut rates. And look what's been happening all week, the last 2 weeks. To me, the market is pricing the inevitable rate cuts in. Now, what do the masses do? The masses are saying, I'm waiting until they cut rates, and then I'm going to buy and I'm going to invest once I know that the U.S. government is cutting interest rates. But the smart money has been investing in that all along, anticipating the rate cuts. This is just like when Trump got into office. So if you guys remember, when Trump got into office, we had a quick pop and made a new all-time high, right? Then we pulled back for like 2 months. And I remember, I knew people, I had friends and family that as soon as Trump got elected, they started heavily investing. And I remember them coming to me, because I'm sure we all have people in our life that they think, I'm a freaking 1 minute scalper on NQ. I don't always have the best advice on long-term investments. Like I have some investments, but I just buy and hold, just like most people. But people are coming to me being like, Zach, why is the market tanking? Like I bought all this NVIDIA stock as soon as Trump got elected. I'm like, yeah, the market was going up for 3 months in advance of Trump winning. Then Trump gets elected. You make one more pop, like euphoria all-time high. And then we pulled back for 2 months because the smart money, they priced in the Trump win. And then they took their profits once he got elected. The people buying late were the exit liquidity for the people who were buying for the last 3 months. So I feel like this is a similar situation. And Wilksey, I know you dipped out. I don't know if you heard me, but one thing that's stopping me from liking this long now, we have equal lows right here on NQ, NDS, right below.
Okay.
So yeah, so there's some conflicting info there. This is also a 1 hour bearish gap. So this is where I was saying, like, it's just kind of a hard read right now because we have equal highs above, London session high, in line with the higher time frame trend, sure. But we're insanely overextended. We're in like a deep, deep premium on the higher time frame. And now we just made perfect equal lows on ES and NQ. Like, it's not like it's just on one. So now I'm thinking, do we want to come down to fill this new week opening gap instead? I'm a bit conflicted on the bias. I don't feel super confident on either direction. I think either one of these can get hit. They probably will both get hit at some point. It's just a matter of which comes first. But we'll see. I think maybe if we clear this inversion and get back below, maybe we could have a clearer picture to short to those equal lows. So yeah, I'm still hands off right now, guys. I'm not super convinced yet in either side.
I've got a few questions with your charts. For example, you talk about divergence. Are you looking for divergence between the two?
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking for divergence between two correlated assets. So I like to see the divergence between ES and the NQ.
Right. And then which one would you execute on?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, you know what? Let me just change this layout. Wait, hold up. Okay, there we go. So technically, you can trade either one because it's a reversal signal for either index. But if you want to trade, if you want to have an easier time, let's do an example of like a bullish SMT, a bullish divergence between the two assets. Let's say, hold on. Let's say this is ES. So market comes down, taps into some key level right here, right? Let's say it does that, gets your little reversal, puts in a higher high, higher low. And then NQ also was going down, taps into the key level, but it does something like this. Makes the lower low and then goes higher. So there's your divergence in price, right? Where ES made the higher low, NQ made the lower low. Technically, you can trade either one because it should be a reversal signal for both indexes because they're correlated. But technically, if you want to buy the stronger asset and if you're looking for buys, it would make more sense theoretically to purchase the index that made the higher low, right? Because there's just relative strength over the NQ. But I will say I primarily just trade NQ. So if NQ is the one that makes the lower low, I'll still happily buy the NQ as long as I have other confluence and my setup makes sense. But I will acknowledge that oftentimes you'll have a better time on the long, on the stronger asset. This would go same way for the bearish SMT case.
Okay. And then the second question is, because with FX, a lot of the times you might get a daily gap or a weekly gap. And I seem to see they do get tested nearly most of the time. So with how you trade, do you find that they also will magnetize towards?
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I really want to see the market tap into this new week opening gap. This was Friday afternoon. We closed right here around like 25,530, gapped up. How many points is this? This is like a pretty large gap too. We gapped up like 160 points on the NQ, and just have ran. This is a draw on liquidity for me, for sure. I think we will be magnetized to filling this gap at some point. It's just a matter of, the market makers, the people running the market, whatever your theory is, they're not going to make this easy. They're not going to make it easy for you. They're going to do this. They're going to grind this thing up until that FOMC statement. And now maybe it's time that this goes. So yeah, it does act as a magnet for me, but timing is everything.
Yeah, so true. Like you said, like the rates come out and probably looking at a lot of traders trying to go long again, trying to get them new highs, when it's like, is that what's going to happen the rest of the week? We haven't got long left now, and we still haven't had that gap to trace towards. So like you say, it's all to play for. And I think there's them days in the market, like today, like you're saying, you're not 100% sure. You just have to sometimes sit out on the off day, and you can just go, today's not the day to trade. Tomorrow may look better. And usually that does help you out. If you try and force trades, I mean, it's game over for you, I think.
100%, dude. Oh, wait, let me go to the micros here. I might try a short here. We'll see if I can get a fill. I don't want to get in at the market right here, but I mean, we swept some lows here. We tapped into an hourly gap. We have equal lows below us. I'll do like 3 micros per account, and I'll try one here. We have a little 1 minute gap in here. So let's see. We'll probably get a fill here. We could totally rip up to those equal highs, but we'll see. If this doesn't look good right away, or it takes some time, I might cut it early. We'll see. Let's see if we can get a fill first.
I think that's another thing not spoken about enough when it comes to futures, and what attracts a lot of people to futures is, every chart's the same. The fills are always the same on any prop firm you go with. Obviously, it's standardized. Yeah. So you're getting tagged in at the same price level. For me, when I'm accounting for different prop firms, I've got to be careful with setting a limit that's going to account for all of my accounts, because there's been times where I've been tagged in on half my accounts, and then it runs to TP, and I look and I've gone, half of them haven't been tagged, and then I've realized that it's not too much of a problem for me because I'm a higher time frame trader, so I can have a 50, 80 pip stop loss. Whereas if you're on the CFDs and you're on 1 to 5 minute, it's really not easy. And I'd probably recommend anyone that's trading CFDs, if you're on that low of a time frame, head to futures, because it'll make your life a lot easier.
I say the exact same thing. I think if you're like a low time frame intraday trader, I think futures just makes more sense from an execution standpoint. But if you're swing trading, I mean, you got to go with FX, and it's a good thing. Like that's a good thing that traders have options. Swing traders can use prop firms or intraday traders. Just got to see what makes sense for you. A lot of people have a hard time adjusting to the trailing drawdown logic of futures, and because you really are just changing up the entire way that you trade. And it takes a while for me too. The biggest thing I always tell people who are trying to transition over to futures, if it makes sense to them, is just you have smaller drawdown. Yeah, it's a bit tight in the beginning, but you have the ability to trade 5, 10, 15, 20 accounts. So that's how you up the leverage. That's how you get the bigger payouts. It's just a different method from trading like a Forex prop firm and going with a 200K account, or, doing the 2 phases. You just add the accounts.
It is a shame with CFDs. I've noticed that there's certain firms I really like, and I'm maxed out on them, and I can't get any more, and they don't offer too much funding. And then I think diversifying is a great thing. Obviously, you don't want to see a firm go under, and then before you know it, you've got no funding left because you've worked hard towards that. So I highly recommend diversifying when it comes to a variety of prop firms. Always get funded with the ones that have the highest ratings, or the ones that you trust the most, because you might pay a bit extra money, but I think that's worth it. And that's the way I've gone about it. And I've been funded for over a year, and the firms I got funded with originally, they're still there now. And I know that there's other firms that aren't there now that were obviously at the time looking very good. And as obviously you're hosting this for Prop Firm Match, and Prop Firm One's coming on as well. And
yeah,
of course,
that's gonna be cool.
This is why it's so good to be able to look and compare the prop firms, because traders don't have the time to be going across every prop firm in the industry and try and find which one suits them. But with this, it's rapid, and I've used it so many times.
Yep, exactly, man. Yeah, I had to shout out Prop Firm Match for that. I mean, Forex futures. I always say, even let's say a lot of people are lazy in this world, man. So if you're really lazy, here's a little cheat code. If you don't want to sit there and read through everything, which I recommend you do, but if you don't, just type in code match at checkout and see if it's listed with Prop Firm Match. If it is, you're probably safe. They only list a select amount of firms. So yeah, shout out Prop Firm Match though. It's cool that they're getting more into futures. I hope that one day the Prop Firm One, because it's going to be a copy trader for Forex right now. That's what the technology's for. Hopefully, John, our co-founder, was telling us like we might get it to futures, but might take a little more time. But that would be awesome, man. There's not enough good copy traders in futures, believe it or not. Like the FX space, their copy trading system is very simple, even though the problem is, a lot of these firms are not allowing it. But the way that they have it set up is so simple and intuitive. With futures, I don't know what it is, man. Like we don't have any third-party softwares that make it like really easy. So like I use the Tradeovate copier. This is built into the platform. But the thing is, I can't copy between different firms directly on the platform. So, the cool thing is, though, I mean, I could trade up to 5 accounts with Tradeify, which is one of my favorite firms. With Apex, you could trade up to 20. So you might not necessarily need it, but it's good to have that option, And also, just to add on to what you said about like, you always want to diversify just in case a firm does go under, things happen. That's kind of what brought me to futures, man, because I was trading with my Forex funds. And I was year 2 into trading. I just started getting payouts, and my payouts were small, like $200 here, my $500 here, just like small payouts. I had built up my funding to like, I had a couple of 20K accounts. I had one 50K account, and I would copy trade them. And I got lucky because I took a payout, my last payout ever with my Forex funds, literally, I think 2 days before they went under. So I got lucky with that. But then, I lost all my funding. And with FX, it takes time to build up a lot of funding, like because you're trading 2-step challenges. So like if you have 600K in funding or whatever it is, multiple accounts, that actually like took some work to achieve all of that funding. It's not like futures where you can just do instant or 1-day pass. Like you got to put some work in to get that. So when I lost all that funding. I was just bummed, man. I was like,
disgusting.
Damn. Yeah. I was like, damn, this sucks. Like so much work put into that, and now it's gone. So I went over to futures. Like a lot of people transitioned within that year, but I think I was one of the first of like the FX people who I was like, let me just try futures because I don't want to deal with that ever again. But it happens with futures too. So it's not even relative to the market. Like you just got to do your research. And yeah, I always think diversifying is absolutely key. I was just trading with MFF at that time.
Yes, it's a shame when one goes down, but as you say with the CFDs, I mean, when it comes to prop firms, there's a phase 1, phase 2s I've passed in total within a month, which is rare usually. And this is what a lot of people don't want to hear. It takes me 3 to 6 months to pass, a 10%, 5%, because I'm trading 5 to 8 trades a month. My average win rate's probably 35, 40% in the live market. My average risk to reward on a winner is like probably like high 2s. So
yeah,
some wins are the odd 4.5, but others are a lot smaller. So yeah, it does take me a while, and I've always been that kind of trader that advocates on my channel just accumulating over time. And the mindset I had a year and a half ago was, if I can do this right in a year and a half, I can have $1 million funded. And shot coming up to the end of this year is looking like I'm going to hit that target. So you have to really look at the long-term game. And in futures, it's a little bit quicker, as you say, but things can go wrong a lot quicker as well. So you've got to be very careful.
Absolutely.
Some traders advocate getting funded, getting the payouts, blowing it. I can't do that for my psychology. I can't speak to other people, but for me, that's too much. Just want to get small, consistent payouts on a low risk. And when you've got enough funding and you're making a few percent a month, it is enough. as much as it sounds like it's not enough, it really is enough.
Dude, well said, man. Yeah, I understand that logic, the whole like you just need to make sure you make more than you spend. And you're like, that's true. You do. But a lot of people use that as an excuse to just like blow a million accounts. And that's their excuse. I'm like, I'm not a bad trader. I'm just playing the game. Like, I'm not going to waste my time if I'm in drawdown. Like I literally hear people say all the time, like, bro, if I'm in like drawdown and I only have like a small buffer left, I'm just full porting and getting new accounts. It's like, why, dude? Like people forget, if every dollar you spend towards a new funded account or a new challenge, that is money that is now being subtracted from your overall profit with your payouts. So I'm the same way, man. I want to limit the amount of challenges and instant funded accounts, whatever the case is. I want to limit that purchase as much as possible, because as traders who trade full time, that's our business cost. It's literally your business cost. So you want to limit your costs as much as possible. But yeah, it's a good excuse for a lot of people who just want to degen all day,
Yeah, so easily done. And look, I think profitable traders blow challenges and potentially even funded accounts. Obviously, I was very close in the summer to blowing funding, but the main thing is I've still not blown any funding I've acquired over the last year and a half. And I take that in my stride, because I practice what I preach on my channel, and I know a lot of traders will benefit from this way of trading, not as the strategy that I trade, it's the mentality that I adopt to the trading. And you really have to make sure that you are going to fail challenges, and I failed a few this year, but my pass rate is quite high on challenges, but I take a long time. So either you're going to pass them very quick and you're probably going to spend a lot of money, then you've got to get big payouts to make sure you obviously offset the costs of what you're putting in.
Yes.
But then overall, at the end of the year, you want to look on, if you've got a live account, and you want to predominantly take the same trades or similar trades to what you're taking on the prop firms. And overall, you want to see that you've got a return on your live account, because if you've not got a return on your live account, then obviously you might be making money from prop firms. Then you've got to put money from your prop firms into a live account, which is another thing I massively advocate for, because it is the way to get to your 6-figure live account, to be able to use your payouts for that and then be a self-sufficient trader even if the props go down.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was huge for me this year, because like I said, like this year has been just major growth for me as a trader. And I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, okay, what's the next step for me? Like I took out over 60K in the last 3 months. Like, wow, I'm doing really well at props, but what's the next step? I want to continue to grow. And I went through that exact logic. Like I need to get more proficient at trading a personal live account, because who knows if props will be here forever. I think they will. This industry is like really booming, and I think there's a reason for it. So I do think there'll always be a market for it. But as a trader, I want to make sure that I'm proficient at all areas. So I opened up a live account, and I'm trading small, trading base hits, just trying to build it up. I'm not even really worrying about withdrawing. I took one withdrawal, my first withdrawal ever, a couple of weeks ago, but small. Like I'm just trying to, take a little bit of money out, get my initial costs back, but then I want to build it, and I want to work on holding an account for as long as possible, and just level up like that, man. I think live accounts are really like, if I'm going to do this for the next 10 years, I want to make sure I can trade a live account. And I'm somebody that cut my teeth on prop firms. I learned on prop firms, and I'm grateful for them. Before I started using props, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what an R multiple was. I didn't know what risk reward was. I didn't think about win rates, any of that stuff. So like, thank God for prop firms. They kind of helped me learn. But yeah, I want to be able to grow,
Absolutely. Yeah. It's key. And like you say, decade, you're still trading. You want to have a huge live account. You want to be making a few percent a month and just taking, either compounding it or just taking a little bit out and replenishing it and using it for builds. So yeah, prop firms are a great tool, and it really does teach you good risk management. But the live account, as long as you keep it steady over time, it should grow really well. And that's the game.
By the way, guys, if you notice, I canceled my limit order because I think I missed this trade. We'll see if we can get a deeper pullback. Like we're back below this gap, so it's starting to look like we're going to come take these equal lows. Maybe then we revert back up to the upside, but yeah, these equal lows look pretty juicy to me. So there's still a lot of room. Like you can capture almost 300 ticks from where current price is. So I could get into a short still, but I don't know, not right here. The problem is we're holding like every single little 1 minute fair value gap we see, right? So we had a 1 minute gap here, retested it, going lower. We had a 1 minute gap. That's all we had. We had one right here, retested it, going lower. We might just grind our way down to these equal lows, but we'll see. If we get a gift, like I'll see a deeper retracement as a gift right now, and maybe I'll try and get in. But yeah, as of right now, it looks like I missed the trade. But I am glad that I didn't get into the long. I'm glad I zoomed out for a second and recognized those equal lows. Because once I saw that, it was like, oh, this is no longer an A+ setup to me. Could still work, but way less probable. So again, like as someone who's trying to scalp, I really want to limit my execution. Okay, here we go. A little deeper pullback there. Swear I'm also watching ES as clear as possible. Yeah, this is weird. Ideally, I would have liked to see a 5 minute fair value gap form on this move down just to show me that sellers are aggressive enough, but we don't really have that. So, you know, I use fair value gaps to get in, but I also just like when a fair value gap is not presenting, it can also help teach me something and give me insight.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, it tells you that maybe the sellers aren't as much in control as it maybe looks like from that rejection. Yeah.
Exactly, man. So we'll see. Yeah, there's no 3 minute in here either. Yeah, that's it for now. So, I mean, I have some more questions for you, Wilksey. Like, so you're trading higher time frames, swing trading. What's your average trade duration? Is it like weeks, months, a couple days? What's like the average if you had to ballpark it?
Yeah, I don't, on my testing, I don't track the average time. I would say you're looking at 2 to 3 days. Now, obviously, if I'm taking the trade at the start of the week, I'm likely out before the end of the week. If not, I'm holding over the weekend. And at the start, that was very difficult to do. Holding over the weekend or even overnight. When I used to be a scalper, it was very tough because when you go to bed, you've got to learn to detach from the market.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't. And you wake up in the night, you look at the chart. Well, how is that going to help you? You're not closing it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say now the trades I've just took on pound USD were the longest trades I've ever held in a live scenario, and that's taught me a lot because it took a long time to play out, but ultimately it was right. But yeah, I'd say average maybe just under a week, to be honest.
Do you pay attention to like what is it called? I know like the swap fees. Sometimes you can have a negative swap fee, a positive swap fee. Yep. What's your take on swap fees in general, and how does it take into account, like, does it have any effect on your trades?
Not really, obviously, because I don't execute as much when it comes to commissions. I'm not getting hit on commissions very hard. Now the swaps can get bigger. I think on a Wednesdays they do a triple swap for some reason. I'm not sure why. However, I think as a whole, I'm not noticing it damage my results because usually the trades that I'm holding for weeks and weeks will end up winning. Whereas the trades that I lose, they will tend to lose very quickly. So a lot of my losses, I'll lose in the same day or the day after. And I do notice that. So the longer I'm in a trade, in my head, the more confident I can be on that position because it's more likely to win based on just, you get that feeling in a trade, you know, when it's moving in your direction, it doesn't go in drawdown, you know that's going to hit.
Yeah.
And you kind of feel confident with that. Obviously, you don't act on it too much. You just let it play out. But yeah, it's the swaps aren't too much of an issue, especially because I don't take many positions.
Gotcha. Yeah. Makes sense. Guys, I just set another limit order. I'm going to watch this one closely, though, if it does fill. Right now, I'm classifying this as like maybe a B- setup. I would possibly even consider cutting it if we get back above this 5 minute inverted gap. But we'll see. We'll see if we even get a fill. Yeah, not super excited about this trade, but I'm playing small size. I think it's valid enough to take. Again, I like those equal lows. We rejecting from this hourly gap. We have a draw in liquidity. We're really overextended on the higher time frame. Yeah, this looks like a good clear target to me. So we'll see if we can get a fill here. I'm trying to be patient and not chase price. Let it come to me. The problem with that, guys, is sometimes we're going to miss entries. You know, like the first one, I probably would have already been out of this if I got my first entry. It's just the way it goes sometimes, you know.
100%.
I've noticed I used to be big on, like I used to get in at the market, even as a scalper. And when I stopped doing that, it helped me a lot because I've noticed I'm not someone that's really afraid to get into a trade. You know, there are people who are very like trigger shy and extra cautious. That's not really a problem of mine. If anything, it's the other way around. I'm like gung-ho sometimes to get into a trade. So often what I do is to kind of like hack my mind is I get in with limit orders. There's so many times, man, where I set a limit order because I want to get into a trade. It satisfies the compulsion, right? Because I pressed the button. And then a few minutes later, I'm realizing I want nothing to do with this trade. I don't want to be in this. And I cancel the order. So yeah, it helps. It can help.
That's a good take. Because I set limits as well. And there's limits that I set. And I usually have a certain time of closing them out. And I notice sometimes they'll get very close. And it's almost like you think that you should be in the trade. It runs the TP. And you've just got to learn when them limits aren't hit and it does hit your targets. It wasn't your trade to take. You may look back on it. You can journal it and go, this is the area maybe I could have got in because of this reason. But yeah, like you say, don't chase the trades just because you want an entry. But that satisfying the limit, just taking a limit satisfies that craving. I can see. Exactly. I've never thought of it in that way ever. But now you say it, even if I don't get tagged in, I can still feel that the satisfying perspective of it, even when it doesn't come to fruition in the end. Exactly, man. Yeah.
All right, so guys, we got filled. This is the other reason I like limit orders. I get a good opportunity to get the best entry possible. So we got filled and it's heading a bit lower. We'll see if we take out 2033. I might even consider closing it. This is just a hard stop. I won't necessarily let it get there. But right now, full TP, if we can make it, would be like 2614. This is really my overall line in the sand, though, this 5-minute inverted gap right here. We had a nice closure beneath it. We have equal lows. Again, I like to take what I think is going to be the low-hanging fruit. So if I think the market can make it back down to these equal lows, then me looking for 2614 to just take out, one of these swing lows, that's the low-hanging fruit. So yeah, we'll see. We're floating about 25 points right now. See if we can get one more push down.
Yeah, there's a nice feel that, like I say, you can't go wrong when it taps it and then it just drops. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. 3-minute looks decent right now. Again, no 3-minute fair value gap was created here. I don't think we created a 1-minute gap either. So again, that could help me with my idea. Okay, so there we go. We're getting the push. And I'll just take it there. So yep, I'm out. In and out of the trade, guys. Real quick.
Yeah.
Pull up the execution. And I think we go lower still, but I'm cool with my low-hanging fruit.
So you attach your trading view to the Tradeovate?
So Tradeovate is the actual platform that we're using. I attach it to TradingView so I could see my position in here. But for the copier, to use the copier, I need to execute from Tradeovate. It's just, for some reason, I can't execute directly from TradingView when I'm copy trading. But yeah, that was it. So let me actually put the prices on there so I can put the risk reward tool on. And also, this is what the market has been very volatile this week, which I love for intraday trading because this was, what was this? We got filled at 2670. We got our TP at 2618. This looks like such a nothing burger of a move, but this was 50 points. This was over 200 ticks in like 3 minutes. Yeah. When the Nasdaq's moving like this, it's just so good for intraday trading. Because there are times when it's not moving like this, where catching 25 or 50 points is going to take you an hour, sometimes 2 hours. So I love when the market's this volatile because I could get in on those limit orders and just really like exploit the lower time frame volatility. Get in, get
Absolutely.
out. If this rips back up, I could care less. I'm already out with my base hit. So we'll see. I do think we can go lower though. I think we should take this this swing low at a minimum, but we'll see.
That's another thing when you're really low a time frame, understanding how quick the market is moving. If it's volatile today, is it not? And being able to understand that, I think, is a very key thing to trade lower time frames that I don't really think about at all.
100%. Yeah, you have no need to think about that.
No.
With your style.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, W's in the chat. Let's go. Someone said I also happen to place my limit order at a VWAP bounce. Do you use VWAP at all?
No, I don't. No.
Yeah, me neither. You know what though? I think a lot of futures traders use the VWAP, and I've noticed that the VWAP seems to be more accurate on the futures market because again, you have that centralized exchange. So everybody's looking at the same volume. VWAP tracks volume, the volume weighted average price, where on Forex, your VWAP, like you could be looking at Euro USD on Oanda versus Euro USD on, I don't know, some other Forex broker. And you're going to see little differences in the VWAP. So I think FX traders don't really use volume tools like that as much. I think that's like with futures, people really like using volume tools. People use footprint charts, bookmap. I don't know if you've heard of any of those tools, but they're interesting, man. Like I don't use them because I like pure price action, candlesticks, but a lot of futures traders use these tools because you can literally look inside the anatomy of a candle and see the volume. You can see how many orders are inside that candle. And it's all centralized exchange. So everybody's getting the same data. Like it's an even playing field in that regard. Whereas if you're trying to use volume tools on Forex, there's so many different brokers that you can't really track that data properly.
Exactly.
But even so, I still don't use them because I just have my system. But it's definitely an interesting tool. Bielka is asking, Zach, did you use negative risk management on that trade? How many points was my risk? So yes, kind of. So I had a hard stop all the way up here, but I had no intention of letting it get that far. This was going to be my line in the sand, this 5-minute inversion gap. So I'd have been cutting this trade around here if we took out this wick. So this is really like a 1-to-1, but I always have a hard stop a little higher up, and I'll just get out at the market if it starts not looking good. But I like to give my trade some breathing room, depending on how the price action develops. But yeah, so that was it. It was really about a 1-to-1 on that trade. I still think this can work, this overall idea to take out those equal lows, but this gap is going to be key. If we get back above this, I think, honestly, I'm thinking maybe we're still looking for those London session highs, but we'll see.
Nice move, really quick play. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Anything you're looking at? Do you want to? Maybe we can pull up your charts. Are you in any positions right now?
Yeah, I'm in 2 EU trades right now. I can show you. Let me get it.
Yeah, please do.
So these 2 trades were before the stream running really nice. They were so close to my TP. So what I'm targeting on the daily time frame here are these equal lows. You can see price down here ran the 9th of October daily low. We ran down the following week and we did leave these equal lows. So when we pull back, I'm favoring price to come and fill this area. And it was looking really nice. It was very close to hitting TP. I do think this is just a pullback and we're going to see a continuation. Obviously, we saw a drop there of quite a big move there. So that's a lot of movement for the day. We're probably seeing that pre-Euro rate. And now I'm expecting continuation for the week. And really, I can hold these into next week if it doesn't hit. But I favor this sell-off here. Down into the lower time frames, which it was really an easy trade. If I go back through it for people that weren't there then, pretty much you can see we had this push up. It was quite slow. There was a lot of liquidity built up. We broke down. We formed a new leg. And then I was really just looking, I like the fib quite a lot. And really, when it comes to the fib, I'm not necessarily looking at an actual entry off a certain area in the fib. I prefer, obviously, on a sell to get in at the premium. And I would just be looking for a retracement. And as I say, when I'm looking for a 2R, as long as I can have my stop loss above this 1 hour fill area, this fair value gap, as long as I can cover that, so price could run up to that and take it out, I'm happy just saying that this is the high. Of course, you could have your stops a little bit higher if you want to go a little bit safer. But I was expecting, because of that move and because of the overall bias on the weekly, expecting us to run down. So hopefully these hit and play out. The only thing is I've been in so many challenges and funded accounts is that apart from my live account and I think 2 challenges and 1 funded account, I'm completely out of this now. So as for the week, going into this week and even last week, I was quite stressed out with, I was in so many positions. And for me, I'm not used to that when I'm in, like 4 positions at once on funded accounts. I have to be careful with that max daily loss, especially if it is trailing. A lot of the times I like the balance based, but I've had to diversify to trailing as well. So sometimes I can't take all my trades if they happen all at once within all the prop firms. But I've realized the game is just being selective with the prop firms. Take what you can get. If you've got enough for a payout, wait for the payout date, take it. But when I'm trading higher time frames, I have 3 to 6 months of the year that are probably not that good. But then there's 3 to 6 months of the year that are really good.
Make up for it.
Exactly. When they're really good, I have to scale in on the higher time frames for their moves. So you do see often, like you saw on GU when I was scaling in from a couple of weeks ago, same for EU there, I was just scaling in because when you get an entry high up for a sell and then you get continuations a week later, generally you see that first position, it doesn't come back to the break-even point even. So it's just really clean, and they're my favorite setups. And I think I've realized that as I would think about being a professional trader, you'd want to capitalize when it's really good, and when it's not so good, you just try and limit your risk and drawdown, because you are going to hit drawdown. I never tell traders that they have to hit 12 months in a row winning. You can have 3 months or I generally have 6 losing months in a year, 6 winning months. It's just, if I can keep my losing months small, my winning months just a bit bigger even, you're going to have a good year, and that's all you need. So that's what I advocate on my stuff all the time.
Well said, man. I say that all the time. It's like the 80-20 rule, right? Like 80% of your input always comes from 20% of the output. That is so true with trading. This will be my 2nd year where like the majority of the bulk of my profits for the year are coming from like a short window of time. Even as a day trader, it happens. Like, I think a lot of people that's why they fail at trading, because they cannot adjust to making money in such like a volatile way, where it's like you have months where you're going to have red months where you make nothing. And then you have other months where you're more just treading water, right? Like maybe you get a little payout here, a little payout there, maybe you're break even. And then you're going to have these months that make up for all of that. But you have to be able to like stay consistent, follow your system, so that when the market is giving you those gifts, you're there to capitalize. A lot of people, they can't handle those like 1 or 2 bad months. Then they start messing up their system, changing everything up. And before you know it, if they just stuck with their system, those next couple of months would have made up for it. But they've changed everything, and now they're screwed. So yeah, completely agree, man. You just, it's very hard to be green 12 months out of the year, every single month. It's just kind of unrealistic.
Yeah. And you don't want to hear it. And many traders also don't want to hear that there's going to be times in the year where you feel like you can't do anything right. It doesn't mean that your strategy isn't working. It just means it's not the period for your strategy to play out. And then there's periods in the market, like for me now, I feel like every trade I touch turns to gold, and it just seems so easy. But I've had to learn over the years that them 2-3 months that you're doing bad in, you can't go on tilt. You can't go wrong, because if you take 10 more losses, blow all your funding, then when you're going back into profits, you're taking loads more challenges and you're not even funded. So then you're just making up for lost time at that point. So you've really got to change the mindset of look at how a professional trader would trade. And you've got to try and replicate that over not just this year or this month, is multiple years. Always look at the long term. I view my year broken down into 4 quarters, and I don't really even care about the monthly result, because I know that I can have bad months. And it doesn't mean that I'm doing bad. I've tested out, I've had bad months. I've had multiple bad months in a row. If you've tested it out and you know it, and it comes back to what you were saying about discretion, like you sometimes, you're not going to replicate your back testing. I always strive for half of my back testing results, because I know that in reality, it's not going to happen. You can't be perfect. You go on back testing, you take a win or you miss a win, you go back and then add the win in. But you wouldn't have caught that in the live market, would you? So be careful with how you do your back testing as well, because you can have blind confidence from that.
Exactly. Like I know so many guys who like this. I mean, dude, back testing is great. I did it for years. I don't do it as much now because again, I just have my system. Like I know what I'm doing. But back testing is amazing. Everyone should do it. Everyone should do it, especially when they're building out a strategy. But yeah, like you just said it perfectly. You gotta take into account human error. Like you said, if you could get 50% of your back tested results, that's successful. It's just like politicians, man. Like a politician comes in, gives you all these promises, right? Like when they're campaigning, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it sounds great. We're lucky if we get like 30% of that from them. It's just the reality. So back testing is great, but I know a lot of guys who have spent too much time in their back test and then it doesn't work the way they back tested. And they're like, this is just not working. Like, I got to change it up again. I got to tweak this. It's like, no, you don't, man. Just got to trust.
Yeah. It's the most frustrating thing. I think someone's asking in the chat about, I said I was an investment banker. I wasn't an investment banker. I was going to university in London. I was actually in bank where all the investment banks are. And I was going to a lot of like evening conferences. I was learning a lot about the industry. And I realized I didn't want to do that many hours in a day. So I've just toned it back, realized that trading would give me the freedom to trade X amount of hours. But it took me from the point at which I started to learn trading, well over 5 years to get to this point. And that's another thing is that you've got to be relentless. You've got to just not give up. You really do.
Dude, I was talking about this with, I think it was, we had Tanner on, Tanner Owens, who is also known as the Strong Trader, futures guy. Really, really funny dude. We have a lot of mutual friends. So he's a great dude, great trader. But we were talking about this exactly. Like me and him were kind of just conversing about how we feel very lucky that we got into trading at a young enough age that we kind of had nothing to lose. Like I had nothing to lose when I got into this, man. I was working at a grocery store. Like
me too.
I was like, it can't really. I was like, dude, it can't get any. Not that there's anything wrong with working at a grocery store, but I was just like, I didn't go to college. I didn't, I didn't know like a trade. I just was like, I got nothing to lose here. I might as well just put everything I have into this and see if it works out. And it took years, man. Like I didn't see any success at all until like 3 years in, and then every year has gotten progressively better, but it's just really hard to handle that learning curve. I feel like year one is really fun because you don't have a lot of expectations on yourself yet. Cause you're in your mind, you're like, I'm learning, so I have time and everything is fine. There's so many shiny objects. You're learning new strategies. There's all this potential. Everyone does well in year one mentally. You know what I'm trying to say. By year 2, year 3, you start to know enough and you start like expecting the results, and they just don't come for a lot of people in year 2. Some people, like everyone's different, but most people, they're not going to get those results they're expecting in year 2. Some people even year 3. So that's where most people fall off because they put all this work in and they're seeing nothing. If anything, they're losing money. They're not even like breaking even. So yeah, it's just so hard to stick with it. But yeah, we were just like talking about that, how grateful we are that even though things were so bad for me in year 2 and then like most of year 3, I was like, well, what else am I going to do? This is it.
And then can it get worse from you get to a point in your trading where it genuinely cannot get any worse than what it's going like. And then you build from that point. And over time, the next few years are really key because you tend to find the results after that when it all starts coming together.
Dude, absolutely. By the way, guys, this NASDAQ, we kind of called this nicely. So this was that 5-minute inversion. Like we got in and out here on our scalp, but we had a nice like deeper retracements here. So we retested that 5-minute inversion and just held beautifully as resistance. Just took out this swing low that we had marked. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I still like these equal lows. I think this is becoming more and more clear. So hopefully we could see an expansion down to these equal lows. Again, these equal lows, if I zoom out, you can see them. They're right here. So this is Tuesday's London session low. Market came down, stopped perfectly there, did not sweep it out. So we created equal lows. That becomes a draw on liquidity. And this was a really nice 5-minute inversion to like give you the confirmation. So yeah, I think this will probably hit. What do you think? You think this looks good now?
Yeah, I like equal lows. You know,
Oh, dude, some of my favorite draws.
Yeah, really, really clean, and you can see the initial, even on the 5 minute, that massive pullback. Where I think if you were to go on like the 1 hour, I think it made a huge wick. Yeah, you formed the imbalance, and then it's just dropped off that. It's really nice, and then you've got the wick to fill now, and then you've got the further low. So,
yep,
I like that.
Yeah, no, it looks equal lows are some of my favorite draws by far. They just work so well. And then like unmitigated fair value gaps, imbalances. Those are my two favorites. Obviously, you also have Asia session high, London session high or low. But those work best when they are paired with some type of structural draw liquidity. Like if Asia session high created a bunch of equal highs, that's like where that's just beautiful. That's coming. Yeah, man. Okay, damn, it's 10:55. This went quick, bro. This was an awesome conversation.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.
I think you were absolutely, man. I think you were our first swing trader on the stream, which is good, dude. Everyone day trades now, so it's good to get a little, some perspective here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so different to a lot of traders, but I know that obviously what I do is hard to do in another way than what day trading is like. But it works for me, and if I can help some traders out, and some traders may have experienced what I experienced in the lower time frames, and they want to switch up, then obviously that's what I try and propose with my trading. Is there's obviously so many ways, but if you want to get your time back as well, because swing trading you don't go on for much of the day, it's really chilled out and it's less stress for me, less trades, less worry. But just dealing with that overnight and weekend holding is the barrier to learn for swing trading. If you can do that, I think you'll be sweet.
Dude. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that was a great conversation. Please, bro, come back anytime. I'm sure we'll hit you up. If you ever want to come, you're always welcome, man.
Nice one. Cheers.
All right. By the way, guys, Wilksey, his socials, I believe your YouTube channel is in the description of this video. Do you have anything else you want to plug to the chat real quick? Is there anywhere else people can find you?
No, not really. See, I'm mostly on YouTube. I do have Instagram, TikTok. I don't really post on Instagram or TikTok, so it is mainly YouTube. That's what I love to do. Just the long form content is where I'm at. So yeah, if you guys want to see maybe CFD journey and swing trading, check me out. And yeah, I'm sure I'll see a few more on my channel.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, guys, his YouTube channel is in the description of the video, so you can always tap in there, check him out. But yeah, thanks again for coming on, man. Hope to talk to you soon. Cheers, bro.
Peace. Take care. Bye, everyone.
All right, man. Yo, W's for Wilksey. That was good, man. That was my first swing trader guest. I think that was a good one. Yeah, we're gonna run a giveaway, guys. We're gonna do one right now. What'd you guys think about Wilksey, though? That was a good conversation, man. So many good traders out there, seriously. And all the best traders, like, you can have a great conversation with them. Like, guy or girl, they're just like, most traders who are successful at this are like intelligent, well-spoken people. So it's just nice that you get to talk to, like, I get to talk to intelligent, well-spoken people in my same industry. It's awesome, dude. Rocha, you're about to lose a trade. I still think we're coming for these equal lows. I might try and grab another scalp, but this is what we're going to do. I do want to run a giveaway, and we got to take a quick break. So, guys, this is what we're going to do. What do we got? We got 53 people watching right now. I wanted to get to 100 likes, but it's all good. We're going to do a giveaway right now. We'll give away some top 1 futures accounts, 25K. This is what I think we're going to do. Okay. I'm going to be thinking of a number, okay? It's going to be a number between 1 and 100, okay? So I have a number in my mind, and the first person to pick my number between 1 and 100 will win the giveaway, okay? You'll win a top 1 futures elite challenge. So I want you guys to get your number entries in. Whoever gets it first, I don't care if 2 people got the same number. It's whoever got it first. And I will run a quick break. So I will be back in like 3 to 5 minutes. So stay tuned and we will announce the winner as soon as I get back. So, all right, guys, I'll be right back. Yo, all right, we are back, guys. We're back. Time for the wrap-up segment. So we got another hour of streaming. I'm definitely down to take another trade, but let's get this giveaway. So I was thinking of a number. Let's see. Let me see. I got to go through all these. I'll just tell you guys the number. I haven't looked at any of the comments yet. It's 33. Okay, it was 33. Maybe next time I'll do a random number generator. That'll probably be easier. But okay, I see FX Trader as 33. Was he the first one? I'll just go through all these comments real quick, but I think it was FX Trader. Let me see. 33. Anyone else pick 33? I think it was FX Trader, guys. Kerr Robinson said 33 as well. I got to go back. Damn. I can't go all the way back. All right, I'm going to give this one to Kurt and FX Trader. Kurt Robinson and FX Trader. You guys both picked 33, and I'll do more giveaways, guys. So you guys both won top one futures accounts. I see you both in here. So guys, to claim your account, you're just going to go to Prop Firm Match Support on X. I'll link it for you here in the comments. And there you go. Guys, those are going to be the first two. That was not the smoothest way to run the giveaway. Maybe we'll do it random generator next time. But congrats. We'll give away. I got 4 more accounts to give away. So don't worry. And we got it all in this hour. So we'll do a lot of giveaways for this hour. Congrats, though. So, yeah, guys, just go to Prop Firm Match Support on X and DM them. Send them a timestamp and proof of your YouTube name. I have your names marked, and you'll be good to go. How's this market doing? Nice pullback. Honestly, I'm kind of interested in getting short again. If I do get short, I'm going to move over to my Tradeify accounts because I'm already up on Apex. So I think that's the way to go. You know, we don't want to force it. And guys, we'll run another giveaway when we hit 100 likes. So let's do that. We hit 100 likes, I'll do another giveaway. So yeah, Apex, we took that little scalp with Wilksey in and out, $300 times 3 accounts. So we're good on Apex. And I think I'll move over to Tradeify now. You know, just keep it going. Yep, 5 likes remaining. Hit that like button. Smash the like button, as the streamers say. All right, so we got some Tradeify. These guys, they don't like delete. I have every account I've ever purchased on this drop-down list with them. I got to get with support and have them remove it. It's like really annoying. But okay, we got our accounts up. So we'll see what happens. Will there be any Forex firm giveaways? Yes, Shivam, tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Hunter from Maven on, and we'll be giving away some Maven accounts. They're going to be sponsoring the stream, and he's going to be our guest, so it's going to be awesome. Just make sure to come tomorrow. And it's Halloween tomorrow, so we got a Halloween-themed stream. Nothing crazy, but, you know, it will be the Halloween stream. Also, I just got word that we have a couple of people that are going to be coming on as regulars. So people that will be on weekly. All of the people that are going to be on weekly have been a guest at some point so far. So try and guess who it's going to be. But you'll be hearing about that soon enough. But we're going to have some weekly regulars on PFM. Okay, let me log into Tradeivate on here, or Tradeify. Yeah, I want to hear who you guys think. So some people are saying John. Well, John's always, he's always on here. I'm saying like weekly people other than John. John, of course, is going to be on with us all the time. I see Tanner, Austin, Claudia. Zamco. Interesting. Okay. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. Guys, I kind of want to just take the short right here. Let's see if I get a fill. I really think we're coming for these equal lows, so I just want to get in. How's the S look? No, ooh, there's a little SMT right there. I don't know. I'm not too worried about that yet. Let's see if I get filled here for these equal lows on NQ. I don't know. I think this can work. It might run without us. Let's see. Got out at break even. Didn't see the equal lows before entering. Oh, you were in a long. Yeah, I think these equal lows want to get hit. Oh, we just missed our fill by a tick. Let's see if we get filled. Slade is awesome and honest about entries. Yeah, Slade is a good one. Yeah. Slade was a great guest. Okay, we just got filled, guys. I want to give this one some room. This might have been a preemptive trade, like I might be a little too excited, but I do feel like these equal lows are pretty key. The only thing I don't like is we have a bullish SMT right here. That's kind of trash. We'll give it a second. I might cut this one early. We'll see. We're just kind of consolidating, though. Like, I really think we're going to come sweep these lows first. When you see the hourly, it's like, I think we want to come take this hourly wick. What do I mean by equal lows? Ken, like a double bottom, double top. So when we trade ICT or SMC concepts, we use double tops and double bottoms as a target, draws on liquidity, because the idea behind it is that it's a very obvious place where people would put their stop losses. So the market is attracted to taking out those levels. Yeah, this is not looking great just yet, though. I might cut this one for an early loss and try and get a better entry. I do feel like we're going to take these today, though. So let's see. I'm only in 5 micros. I'll admit I didn't focus too much on my entry like I did on the first trade that we took. I'm more just focused on the target here. But this is still the line in the sand, this 5-minute inversion, you know? But it looks like we're going to come up and sweep that high. Let me take off my executions. They're kind of in the way. They're not equal. They're definitely equal on the futures contract, LL. And we analyzed the futures contract. Look, this did not get swept. If you're looking at the C, maybe by a tick. No, they're not. They're like perfectly equal. I don't know if you're looking at the CFD contract, but I don't follow what happens on the CFD contract. I look at the futures contract only. Nah, these are perfect equal lows, dude. These are perfect equal lows. If you're looking at the CFD contract, you know, the price action is a little different there. So I don't pay attention to that. I only pay attention to the futures contract because that's where the real volume is. So for example, if there's equal lows on the futures contract like this, but on the CFD contract, they were swept, that doesn't mean anything to me because the CFD contract is like the fake volume. This is not looking great though. I might cut this one. I'm going to cut it soon. I'll see what happens if we get into this inversion. Yeah, I'm not liking this. I think I was a little too excited on this one. Hey, this is why we risk sync, right? So I synced my risk. Apex, we're up, and now we're going to be down on Tradeify so far. Yeah, this is looking kind of rough. There's that bullish SMT. ES is going to take those highs. I'm going to cut this one. Let's just see if we get an immediate drop here, but if not, I'm cutting this. Now, let's cut this and look for another entry. Okay, so we took a little loss on those. I think I got too excited. I just really liked those equal lows. Bro, I scrolled up. This. Okay, maybe it swept by like a tick. So this one is coming in at 25,942. So let's zoom in now. Oh, shit. 25,942. Okay, I see what you mean. It swept it by like a tick. I don't know. Do I count that though? I don't know if I'm worried about that. I feel like I would still consider them equal. It's a good spot though. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, relatively equal is really the key. I might have cut this like right before it's going to drop. That might have been silly. I don't know. I don't like this now. Like, I don't like the way this ES price action looks. We have multiple wicks here. We have a little bullish SMT at the lows. That's not really ideal. We got a bearish gap to fill, 25,564. Yeah, I mean, there's so much downside, guys. Oh, you're thinking, yeah, 25,564 all the way down here. Yeah, I really think that this could be a good sell day. So I'm trying to get involved. I think I cut that too early. Okay, let's get back in. We're getting back in at the same price. If we get filled here. Okay. I just got in at the same price I closed at by a couple ticks. Let's give it the room we think it needs instead of getting out early. It's pretty much like we never cut the trade right here. The only other downside that still makes this not as attractive is these equal highs and midnights. I mean, if the market wants to go up there and just remain irrationally bullish, it can happen. But I just like the idea of sweeping these lows one more time first, you know? Just cleaning up my chart a little bit. Yes, Jenna Lock. I'm executing on Tradeovate because I'm copy trading. Correct. Yeah, I feel like this is like an hourly bearish candle that just makes sense for us to come down one more time. Again, we have this hourly bearish gap that we are rejecting from initially, and we still have those relative equal lows. Yeah, I think this looks good, and I think I just need to give it the room it needs. The only scary thing is we're still irrationally bullish, and this could just be a deep enough pullback for the bulls to just step back in hard. Zach, do you set stop orders or do you just cut it when you don't like the price action? I don't like setting live stops because I always feel like anywhere I set, I will get swept. I usually I'll eventually put a hard stop in, but oftentimes I'll cut it before it hits the hard stop. Right now, I'm just deciding if I'm going to stay in it or not first. And if I do, I'll set a hard stop. Rocha says, I don't like this price action. You think it still has to deal with FOMC? Kind of. We haven't really had a lot of clarity yet about where price wants to go, even post FOMC. We finally had a sell-off, but I still think we can go. We need to go a little bit lower. I think, we're in like some profit taking now. I think the people who have been buying this whole way up, in anticipation of those rate cuts, I think it's time for the market to sell, buy the rumor, sell the news. And we have equal lows. So I just think we have a technical perspective. I think it makes sense. So I just got to play it out. It's just like there's been a lot of examples from a technical perspective where the market makes sense to sell down to, and it hasn't happened because of how bullish it's been. But today's a little different because we actually have some bearish structure finally. And we have a draw on liquidity. So yeah, I still like it, man. I pretty much got in at the exact spot I cut it. So it's like I just stayed in this trade the whole time. Yeah, I think I like this still. No fair value gap here was created on this leg up. So that's a good sign. See if we could inverse this little 1 minute gap. That would be a good first step. Right now it's holding. See if we can get a closure below here. That'll be a good first step to like feel more confident in the trade. You guys are in with me on this? Okay. Yeah, I think we should still come for those lows first. I just feel like it makes sense. It's just, yeah, I don't know. This is one I just want to give it the room it needs. I had never heard elevator downstairs up. That was a great takeaway. Oh yeah, elevator downstairs up. It's really true. Market rips lower usually very quickly, and then it will slowly grind its way back up often. Did we hit 100 likes? I said we'll run a giveaway at 100. Hey, we hit 100. Fire. I want to see what's up with the initial balance. Have we broke one side of the initial balance yet? We have not. We're still inside our initial balance. I don't know. We have a better entry now, but I'm still just like so cautious of like this just being like a bear trap, you know? But like there's just no fair value gap. Like we have this fair value gap overall, which has been holding, but there's no fair value gap here. So I'm really hoping I could see us erase this price leg since there's no aggressive buying that came into this candle. If we create a 5-minute bullish fair value gap to the upside, that might be my cue to get out. But if it's like a grind, I think I'll stay in. I think that's what I'm going to be looking at here. Yeah, I just feel like it's not over yet. What do you think, chat? Rate my setup from either A, B, or C. What do you think this setup is? I'm kind of giving it a B right now, B minus. Unless we start to displace, then I'll feel confidence in it because then I'll think, okay, we are going to that draw. But right now I'm kind of anticipating the draw, but I think it's a clear draw liquidity. C, I'm getting a lot of C's. Hey, I remember yesterday, nobody liked my trade. I remember the whole chat was like, I don't like this trade you're in, Zach. I think that was yesterday, right? And it ended up hitting TP. But yeah, okay, I'm getting a couple of C's in here. I feel a bit weird about it personally. But I have no invalidation yet. This just is bad. This price action's bad. Bullish SMT, 5-minute fair value gap respect, and 5-minute fair value gap inverted. See. Yeah, the bullish SMT is like one of my biggest knocks on the trade. I think ES is definitely going to come up and break this initial balance high. Shit. ES is absolutely going to come up to 69.13. I'd be really surprised if it doesn't, which means it's going to pull NQ up. But I'm still at my entry, so I'm trying to give it room. I do not like the way ES looks right here, though. I'm going to set an alert there. Yeah, this price action was really clean here. It got bad all of a sudden. Let me set an alert on ES 6913. Nuno said, C setup. Sorry. You don't got to be sorry, bro. I get it. What's the question? I just was asking people to grade the setup. Like, do you guys like this short? I just feel like ES is going to take this high. It looks like it wants to take the high first. Yeah. Okay. Let's just see how we react on this inversion, on the retest again. Ken B says it's a B setup. We got a lot of time frames in alignment. We've been rejecting holding below EMAs and VWAP. Okay. R6 says you think it needs to pick up liquidity to go higher. So I'm kind of with you on that. Like, so that's kind of part of it is like, I mean, guys, we left equal highs up here and we have midnight. So I kind of I kind of agree with you. And that's part of the idea is maybe we need to just like sweep out these lows and then rip it up to continue the higher time frame trend. I just feel like it would almost be too easy for bulls if we bounce here and leave those equal lows. So it's almost like stop out the early longs and then you can rip it back up. But I have a little bit of PTSD because of how bullish we've been. And like, there's been so many situations where like the market is ripping. So like it looks so good for the downside and then we just rip higher and it draws on liquidity. So I just have a little bit of like, cautiousness because of that. Damn, Rocha said it's an F setup. Damn, bro. We need a bull trap. Watch the big sell. F setup. We're kind of just doing nothing. I'm just not invalidated, but it also just doesn't look good either now. I really hate the way ES looks, bro, because ES is creating low resistance liquidity up here. I feel like even if this works, we might have a situation where NQ pulls a little higher, ES takes out this high, and we create a bearish SMT. Like I could see a scenario like that where if this works. I'd rather that not happen. I'd rather just see it drop because that means if ES takes out that high and we create SMT, NQ will probably at least take out this high. And I don't want to have to hold past this high. But this is like, I can't do anything here. It's just chopping around my entry. I'm with you in that sell. Damn, everyone's following me on this short. I hope more people followed me on the first short. The first short we took was like, mwah. This one is like way less good. Not as good. Unless we really pull back. If we can close below like 26,040, I think this is going to look really good to at least take 980. But right now it's like really, we're in a really precarious spot. Like I need to see this thing pull down. In regular market conditions where we haven't been just ripping to all-time highs every other day, this would look so good to me for the equal lows. But the type of market we've been in, I trust this so much less. But this, guys, we swept a high. We tapped into a one hour bearish fair value gap. We swept liquidity. We inverted a 5-minute gap. We left equal lows below. Like all of it makes so much sense. It's just, we've just been so insanely bullish. I really want to see us invert this 1-minute gap. Like, give me that. Give me something. Give me a sign, market. Yeah, I don't like that chop. This will be a good one to review if it works out. It'll be solid. Okay, let's see if we can inverse this 1 minute gap. It's not an inversion until we close beneath it. So we got 5 seconds. Let's see. See if this 1 minute candle can close beneath. Nope. No inversion yet. Now we got another 60 seconds. See that? Candle closed, wicked below, held it. As of right now, no 1 minute inversion there. Let's see if this next candle can do it. I don't like that though that much. Yeah, did not like that. Look at that reaction. Jesus, this 1 minute gap is causing us a lot of grief here. What is the where is the POC? I know the midnight is above us, but we can always sweep those lows. Yeah. Okay, POC is over here. I'll pull it up. It's below us. We've already lost it. Like we've rejected the POC here and got this leg down in the pre-market. So we're below the POC and it's already been engaged. So there's no 80% setup or anything. Like it's just holding. It's just resistance. This 15 minute looks like terrible, except for the fact that this could look like consolidation at support, which is inherently bearish, right? So, but I mean, it's just, this is like really kind of a bad looking 15 minute chart in general. But it also does not look bullish. This is not a bullish 15 minute sequence right here. 5 minute, I can see both directions, but I like my take because once again, we leave equal lows. So there's our draw on liquidity. Market pops up. This is an hourly bearish gap. We mitigate this gap. We also sweep some liquidity. We take this swing high, swing failure pattern, go lower, invert a 5 minute. Like, it's not bad. Now we want to see the equal lows get taken. I don't think it's bad. This 1 minute gap, though, that we're looking at also coincides with previous day's low. So like, I really think we need to get a nice closure below both of these levels. Call Trump to short the market. Yeah, guys, we'll do another giveaway while we wait for this setup. But also, quick reminder, remember, you guys can also earn a 25K futures account totally for free by simply reviewing a futures prop firm. I'll pull that back up for you guys so you understand what I mean. If you have a futures account that you purchased through PFM, if you've had it for a couple weeks, just go right here. Let me see where it explains it. Right here. Submit an honest review. So you don't need a lie either. It doesn't need to be an amazing review, but submit an honest review with any futures prop firm that's listed on Prop Firm Match and get a reward. You'll get rewarded a 25K futures challenge account, and it's only for the first 500 people. All right, so first 500 people that do that and post an honest review will get a free 25K futures challenge account. Call Trump, call Trump. Dude, I wish I had Trump's number. You know what I did a couple months ago, though? I drove like near his old childhood home because, you know, I'm in New York City. He grew up in Forest Hills, Queens, and we were over there. Me and my partner were over there. We drove near it. We drove around by it. If anyone else has Trump's number, call him, bro. Call him for your boy. Tell him, just drop the market real quick, have him take those equal lows, and then, you know, do whatever you want. But, you know, Zarb needs to make some profit. All right, let's see if we could inverse this gap this time. Like right here, we didn't inverse, right? Let's see if we get it here. Where's our super hammer? Dude, I don't know. I've had the last time I did the hammer, it didn't work. So now I'm thinking I got to not do the hammer, not do the magnet. It's not working. 11:30. All right, let's run a quick giveaway, guys. Hey, Erkan, you had an apartment in Sunnyside, Queens? That's funny, bro. I didn't even know you were from New York or that you lived here. I've hung out in Sunnyside a little bit. I had a friend that lived over there. Look at this. We still have not inversed this gap, guys. This is like kind of ridiculous. Jesus Christ. All right, let's run a giveaway. We will give away, I have both. I can give away 2 Blue Guardian accounts and 2 Top 1 Futures accounts. Let me know what you guys want to do first. Top 1 Futures or Blue Guardian? Let me know. Oh, here we go. Come on, give us this inverse, man. Okay. Okay. Part of me wants to like straight up hold this, dude. Okay, it's mixed. All right, so we'll just do we'll do Blue Guardian first, but we'll do both. This trade's looking a lot better, guys. Looking a lot better here. I'm going to set a hard TP. I might close this before this, but I'm going to set a TP for down here, 963. I'm not going to necessarily let it go that far. I'll probably close it earlier, but I don't think that's a terrible spot to actually take a TP. So we'll see. All right, let's do Blue Guardian real quick. Guys, to enter the giveaway, type in Blue Guardian in the chat right now. Go. And we'll watch this trade while we do this. Trade's looking decent, guys. It's looking decent. See if we get those equal lows. I'll give you guys 30 more seconds to enter. Keep getting those entries in, guys. Let's run it. Let's run it. You got 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. That is it for entries. We'll get these in. Who thinks my TP is going to hit? I'm still unsure. All right, let's do this. Get this new list in for you guys. I saw some of you guys already TP'd on your short. Good job. That's a good idea. Take your money. Take your money, get out. All right, let's run this giveaway, guys. This is for Blue Guardian account. Chart Killer. I feel like your name's familiar. Chart Killer, just let me know. Have you already won? If you won this week, Chart Killer, then you can't win again. I can't remember if you won or not this week. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for now. Let us know in the chat, though. Did he win this week already? Tell me, chat. Yeah, because Chart Killer, listen, bro, like they won't let you claim it. You won last week, you promise? I'm gonna trust you. I can't keep track of these things. If you won this week, they're not gonna honor the accounts. I just want you to know. You won't be able to get away with it. Like the people who actually give away the accounts are gonna know. So just I'll trust you. So that's Chart Killer. Let's run it one more time. Yo, look at this trade, by the way, chat. I'm going to set an alert for like around 26,000. Because I want to know what happens there at that psychological number. Okay, if you won last week, that's fine. Guys, look at this trade. All right, let's get this giveaway over with so we can look at this trade. This is looking good. All right, one more. Blue Guardian. Let's go. Spin the wheel. I feel like Chuck Galash won this week. I think Chuck already won this week. Chuck, I think you won this week. Let me know. I don't think that was last week for you. I think that was this week. Let me know. That was last week. All right, we're getting a lot. Some of you guys are getting lucky, man. I mean, that's the cool thing. You know, while we still have a bit of a smaller community, you got a chance to win. If it was last week, that's fine. Dude, Arpon, I think are you just saying this, bro? All right, I trust you. Listen, it's, you know, they're not going to give it to you if you already won. Oh, look at this move. How much are we up now? Because we took an initial loss. All right, let's just get out here. Do not edge me. Do not edge me. Let's move our stop. Come on. Come on, market. Don't edge us. Give it to us. Let's make sure there's no like divergence. I think we go lower. I think we're safe. Just be patient. Come on. Come on, chat. Come on, Trump. Trump! Drop the market, Trump. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop the market, Trump. Let's go. Give it to us. Don't do this to me. I did move my stop loss. I trailed it. Yeah, who said this was an F setup? Come on. F setup. What are we talking about? Don't worry, guys. I'm not even gonna let it go here. My stop. I might trail this so we lock in profit no matter what. Just trying to give it room to go a little bit lower. Come on, market. All right, I just took it there. Of course, I closed a second before it would have hit full TP, but that's fine. We're up $300 per account on my Tradeify accounts. Let's go. W's in the chat. Dude, we are back this week, guys. We are back. Let's go. Rocha said, yeah, that was beginner's luck. Dude, I love you, man. I know you're trolling. I know you're just trolling. We are out here, guys. We are really out here. Live trading, calling it out. No hindsight. I'm calling things out. Clear analysis. It's coherent. I explain to you what I'm thinking and we execute. I take losses in front of you. I take wins. I really think this is low-key one of the best live streams. There's a lot of live streamers out there, man. They're not really making money. Just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. And they also will like get into a trade late and then like only tell you they're in the trade once it's like 20 points in profit. You know, we've all seen it, man. Yeah, those are 100K accounts. I'm trading 4 100K Tradeify accounts. And I got Apex accounts too that we made money earlier. Big dubs. Yep. Yeah, I exited like 5 seconds early, which I kind of wish I didn't, but whatever. Yeah, there are boring live streams out there, man. We are not the one. Hey, Joseph's in the chat. Yo, Joseph, I got a feeling you took a short too. I just got a feeling. You got to let me know later. I think if I know Joseph, I think he probably caught a short with us. Big W's. All right, sick. Awesome. Let's give away one more set of accounts. You know, I'm feeling good. Let's do it. We still got to get Joseph on. Joseph knows. I feel like I'm not even going to push it. Whenever Joseph is ready to come on, I know you're watching. Come on and chill with us, bro. Nice. Okay, Joseph caught along earlier in the day. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Let's go. All right. One more giveaway, guys. Let's give away 2 top 1 futures accounts. Benjamin says, Zach, check out Monday and Tuesday. NQ was bullish. Wednesday and Thursday bearish. What's that? Friday will play out manipulation. Hey. Yep. I think you're right, Benjamin. Yeah, it's ended up being a good week. It was a really tough week, man. Like, I think because it bled into, like, on Friday was a really tough day, price action wise, and that bled into the beginning of the week. So we had Friday and Monday were just awful. Tuesday was rough, but then like Wednesday, Thursday, these have been really good days. Like, I'm green for the week now, and I started off red. Like, it was not looking good this week. I thought it was going to be, you know, I thought it was going to be like a survive type of week. Not like a, you know, thrive week, but we're thriving now. We're going to take these equal lows, guys. So I forgot who called that out. They were saying like, oh, but it was swept by like a tick. It's a good thing to notice. You're paying attention to detail, which I totally am all for that, bro. But listen, when it's like by literally a singular tick, I just count that as equal lows still. All right. So I understand the attention to detail, but I do, you know, I think that's fine. Like, we swept this by 1 tick. I still count these as equal lows. We're going to come down and take these for sure. I wanted to get back to Joseph's comment. 2.5K on the trade if I funded. Could not trade anymore with the consistency rules, but what I would have def taken those shorts with you. Nice, dude. Dude, I want to see because this is our brother Joseph's first futures account. That'd be so sick, dude. If you take like your first futures funded account and you take a payout, that would be sick, man. Let's celebrate, chat. Why are people spamming that comment? I don't understand what you're doing. Yeah, let's do the giveaway. I got you. Rocha, no. So you have to pay your activation fee, but after that, there's no other fees. Nope. No monthly fee, nothing else. That's it. Yeah, I don't know why people are spamming the W Zach comment. You guys, I mean, thank you, but you know, it's over now. All right, let's run this giveaway. Guys, to enter the giveaway, go ahead. Let's do this because I do want to remind everyone one more time. We still have our Halloween flash sale, exclusive offers. You got until tomorrow to capitalize on this, right? And some of the codes, just always double check because like here for Finitive funding, it's code match, but most of them are match spooky if you want to capitalize on the Halloween flash sale, which is going to get you a little bit better discount. So just to keep that in everyone's minds, type in match spooky in the chat right now to enter. Just so you can remember that. And yeah, we'll run this last giveaway. Get those entries in, chat. Solid day, man. Solid day. Good chat with Wilksey FX. was a good week. You know, now that I look back on it, it was a good week. Awesome guests. I got to look into who we have next week. Like I said, we got some regulars coming on soon, so that's going to be awesome. But we still want to have new guests, you know, as much as possible. I got to ask around for some people. I think I got some ideas. All right, I'll give you guys 15 more seconds to enter. So get your entries in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's get these entries in. This will be for top 1 futures, guys. Okay. 2 top 1 futures accounts we'll give away. Let's do a duck race. We'll make it fun. Let's do a duck race to end the stream. Oh, by the way, guys, before we run the giveaway, I just want to remind everyone. So if you guys know, I have a YouTube channel. I post a lot of free education on there. Link to my YouTube channel is in the description of this video. I'll plug it right here as well, though, because I put out a new video. So I got a new YouTube video that we just dropped. And, you know, if anyone's interested, check it out. I just put it in the chat box. So it's also in the description of the video. But yeah, my YouTube name is I Am Zarb. Just slowly building up this channel. You can see I'm doing some pretty good views. I only have a couple thousand subscribers. I've been building it from scratch, from the ground up. People definitely like the videos. They've been doing really well. I just posted my newest one. And again, I'm just talking about my 10K payout from Tradeify. I go over my stats, my top setups. I talk about prop firm match TV in the intro. And then, yeah, I go over some of the best setups that I think were like really high probability. So if you guys are into that, check it out. But all right, guys, you don't need to keep entering. I already got everyone's names right here. Let's get this duck race going. Oops. Let me get that list back. All right, who's ready? Guys, no need to keep typing match spooky. I already got the names in, so. All right, ready? On 3. Wait, let's do a drum roll. Yep, we're doing 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And they're off. Who's got it? I see Benjamin up there, up in the front. Coming through, coming through. Who's got it? I see Erkan trailing right there. He's in like 3rd right now. Come on, Erkan. Oh, sorry, bro. He just lost it. Who's it going to be? I don't know. I have no idea yet. Space Aura. Losers start fast. Yeah, it's true. Space Aura, you are the winner. Let us know you are here, okay? So you can claim your account. But Space Aura, you just won a 25K Top 1 Futures Elite Challenge. Cool YouTube name, too. That was solid. Space Aura. So listen, the way you're going to claim your account, go to PFM support on X. I will link it here in the chat for you. There you go. I see you right there. Bam. PFM support on X. Congrats. Congrats. We could go one more. Guys, if you missed it, you missed it. Okay. I can't add people's names late. It is what it is. I started being nice, adding people's names later. And then I realized like a million people are going to come in and say, add my name, add my name. So listen, if you miss it, you miss it. All due respect. Much love. We give away accounts every single stream. You have many opportunities. If you missed it, you missed it, guys. I'm sorry. All right, ready? On 3. Okay, drum roll. All right, who's got it? I'm sorry, Legacy, but Vi Legacy, we know you're going to lose. You're way too early in the front here. Someone's going to come through. Damn, I don't know. Maybe he does got it. Nope. See, I'm sorry, bro. I know how this thing works now. Oh, Mike Burton. Shout out Mike Burton. You just won a 25K Elite Challenge, top 1 futures. Let us know you're in the chat so you can claim your account. Mike Burton, congrats, bro. Just let us know you're here. Again, just like everyone else, all you got to do, go to PFM support on X. I'll drop it in the chat again. Just DM them, send a timestamp, show them proof of your YouTube name, and you'll get your account. It takes a couple of days, so if they don't message you back within 5 seconds, don't worry, they'll get to you. We give away a lot of accounts, right? So sometimes it takes a little bit, but we took out that low. Nice. But guys, remember too, if you happen to be in a country where the firm is restricted, where your country is restricted from trading with Top 1 Futures or Blue Guardian, there's nothing we can do. So always double check that. I think I've repeated myself enough. But yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, I think we'll get ready to wrap up, you guys. Again, last time to plug the Halloween spooky deal. We got one more day. You got today and tomorrow to capitalize off this. It ends in 39 hours. So you got a little bit of time. But code match spooky will get you the best promos for the Halloween flash sale. You also got Top 1 Futures on here. You could use code match for that one. 55% off. And yeah, guys, it's going to be fun. Tomorrow we got Hunter from Maven Trading coming on. That's going to be good. They're sponsoring the stream. And what else? What else? Again, my YouTube video just dropped. Go ahead, check that out. I'll link that one more time. Really good job, Zach. Keep it up. Thank you, Rocha. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you trolling a little bit because it's fun. Makes the chat more fun. Yeah, guys, I guess we'll leave it at that. I think today was a fire stream. We called price beautifully. Like, we really called price so nice. Again, recap. We created those hourly equal lows. That's when, if you remember, I was actually considering a long. I was considering getting long on this retest of this 5-minute bullish gap, right? I was about to take it. We were calling it. But then I zoomed out and I said, oh, damn, we have these perfect equal lows. This is just a really good thing to go over because it's not just about finding a trade to get into. You also want to find a way to not get into a trade. You know, the trade should find you, if that makes sense. So when I saw those equal lows, it was like, you know what? I don't think we should take this long. This is like a really clear draw on liquidity. So we did not take the long. Instead, we end up getting short around here once we inverted that gap. So we were going to go long inside this gap. Then we identified the equal lows. We said, let's see how we react inside the gap. We inverse it. There's your entry. And you get short. And then again, we take the low-hanging fruit. I don't need to hold all the way down to the equal lows. We took a short down here when Wilksey FX was on. Then we chilled and we took one more short up here, right? It still hasn't taken the equal lows, but it doesn't matter. I used it as a draw on liquidity. I'm in and out of my trades. Base hits were done. So just nice recap for the day. By the way, could you make a risk management video on your channel? How to pass evals? Absolutely. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I did an interview with the Traders Post like a month ago. I talked about trade management or risk management there too. So maybe check that out. Where's this interview? I don't know. It's somewhere in there. I did an interview where I talked about that too. But yeah, that's a good idea for a YouTube video. I'll definitely consider that, bro. Yeah, insightful stream. Thank you, guys. All right, guys. I don't want to take up too much more time. I will let you guys go. And again, we'll be back tomorrow, as always, same time, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll have Hunter from Maven Trading on, and we'll have a good day. So peace and love, chat. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Trade safe. Peace.